I don't even know what you're saying anymore.
I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I've never known what I say anymore. This message is brought to you by ketamine. What's up, everybody in the chat? How are you doing? Shout out to 236 people here live already. Asa's the reason we are late. It's his fault.
For the first time. For the first time, guys. Don't blame Asa for the rest of the times.
I'm laundering this well. Yeah. Asa, do you have any words for our guests and the patient people who've been waiting for 16 minutes for your late arrival? What's the excuse?
I actually don't know where any of this has come from. I've been here for half an hour, casually waiting so long that one of my lights has run out of power. I'm just sitting here in the dark waiting to get started. But no, this is good. Kibiji's obviously been here a million times before. It's always great to have you back. And I didn't actually get the pronunciation of your name at all, so now I feel like a complete arsehole. But it's your first time while I've been on.
No, you did.
So
you totally got it.
No, not you. Shan, I'm not sure. This is the worst. You've made me go
for it. Asa, don't worry, man. Let's go for it, man. Let's roll.
We were literally just talking about this before the stream. I was like, is it Sean or Shan or? Yeah.
Shan.
I wasn't actually here. Yeah.
Shan.
Let's call me Sean.
Just think of Shannon. Shan.
Shan. Oh, Shan. I'm sorry, Asa. It was me. Yeah. Sorry. It's always me. Hi. I forgot how to do this. Samurai Kibiji, everyone. That's right. We're going to jump straight into it. It is the guy who has been supporting us from day one, and Asa doesn't have to pronounce his name. How you doing, Kibiji? You good?
I'm doing great, man. This was a really good week in more ways than just the stuff we're going to talk about. Like, I don't know. Like, and Gaz and I are representing the great circle on our heads. I don't know if they got ideas from our freaking hats. And yeah, just been working on. Am I the most? Okay, not in a brag way. Am I the most fit person you think you've had on this show?
Ooh, fit as in like physically.
In what
fit?
way? Like physically?
Like
the muscle.
Means like you.
Let's go.
I can show the six pack.
Come, Sean. Show you what. You got bigger guns? Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit! That is.
I know there's children watching.
There.
I would flash the six pack, but I bring that up because like I've been going into the new year and I'm like, man, I need to. I've been like cut for a while, but I want to start like really eating right, getting some actual muscle mass. So I've been doing that more, and I'm just feeling
Neo
good.
GameSpark beats you in that department. Have you seen Neo GameSpark's body? Bro,
Neo GameSpark, yeah. Like,
bro,
yeah,
that is like totally insane. Like, it's just like.
But a part of that,
and after is like, I'm sure a lot of companies just use his before and after to sell their sell their products.
If he needs a Ring Fit Adventure as a sponsor, but if anybody's watching this live and not podcast, if I get the full screen here, I upgraded with something this year that you might see the camera go on a little journey, and I'm gonna start this show in my
underwear
new standing desk. So we're gonna do that. So here we go.
Nice. Let's go for it.
Oh shit.
So now I'm just standing up and we're gonna do this show as I stand. So that's what we're doing. That's something I got this year. So
what did you just put on the camera lens? I saw you just put something on there.
So if I take it off, you'll see that light leak.
Oh, that's wicked.
So I'm putting like a little cup holder on it
Oh, no,
to kind of like block the light. But yeah, this
smart.
is my I got a stand-up desk because I work out at home a lot, so I just wanted to be able to stand more, and I got a pad under my
that
feet.
actually looks better because the light from the ceiling is like leaving a silhouette around your shoulders. So it's like
I love it, dude. I look so much better when I do like my fancy cam, but just like up here, it's great, and I feel like I'm more energetic too, so it's good.
Shit,
That's a big
really
update.
good. Making me feel. I feel like the Baron from Dune just sitting across freaking like a fat shit eating food. Just
It
sitting
gets
there
tiresome, man. During the day, like sometimes I just like plop on my bed or something because I've just been standing for a while. But I'll go back and forth. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh shit! I'm looking good.
But this is also a good week because of Xbox. But yeah.
Oh shit! And of course, if it's Xbox week, this Pakistani brother, has been saying, "Why don't you invite me here? Here you are, bro. I wanted to pick the right time. Let's talk that shit with Sean 786." What you doing, bro?
I'm good, Playboy. What about you?
Bro, I'm great now that you're here, bro.
You know, some people have been sending me some DMs. I'm sure you got some super chats. They go, Sean, why is Gaz a pony bot? Are you gonna sort him out? He's your Pakistani brother. Why is he a pony bot? I go, listen, today I will sort him out. So we got a good show. We got some good topics to talk about, and it's nice to obviously finally coming on GameOnDaily. It's Samurai as well, so we're gonna have some fun, Playboy.
It's gonna be wicked. It's gonna be wicked. We have a lot to talk about. We've been looking forward to this day and the reveals, and we've had those reveals. But before we do the reveals, we do have to go through some other topics as well. So let's just before we do that, before we go through those topics, what games have you been playing? Let me start with Asa. What have you been playing?
Why'd you start with me? I'm not prepared. I don't know. Loads of them. Baldur's Gate is still ongoing. Nearly through to the end of that. I've been playing. Oh, what did I play? Prince of Persia. Don't like that. Don't like
it?
No, not particularly. Everybody loves that. This is why I point out I don't like it. It's a popular game as a Metroidvania, but Metroidvania as a genre, just replace it with like a big recycling symbol, like roguelikes. I don't want to keep going back to the same place. I don't want to do that. I don't care that I can take a photo so I know that I need to come back to this place. I don't want to come back to this place. And that's Prince of Persia for me.
I feel that. Yeah.
And probably some other things.
Do you like Metroid games? Do you like Metroidvania games at all then?
It's not that I would hate every single one of them, but if you are looking at like the qualities of a game, Metroidvania would be in the negative column for me. Like I'd rather it wasn't.
Oh, really?
Is there, Asa, can I ask, is there fast travel in the game?
I don't think so. Not that I got to. There might be.
See, that's what bugs me. Like I tried the Metroid Prime remaster, and I forgot that game did not have fast travel. I can't do a Metroidvania if it doesn't have fast travel, because you're gonna make me backtrack. I don't want to. Yeah.
It's interesting because a lot of people are liking that game. So is it because of the motion sickness? Is that what it is?
It is not.
It's a new problem that's really getting crazy now.
Yeah, they started 2 days ago.
Yeah. It did, bro. Shit, man. If you're out there and you're suffering from it as of Thursday, then all I can say is try and avoid first-person games. But it will, yeah. You have our condolences, especially Erica's for the win. So you going out on a limb defending yourself there when you weren't attacking you. It's quite funny. I like to see a little breakdown here and there sometimes. But yeah, you've been playing Prince of Persia. Okay, fair enough. It's not for everyone. I'm actually looking forward to playing that. I think I will really like that. But I have a new rule of completing games and then moving on.
Yes.
Yeah. It has to be done. It has to be done. And I've been playing multiplayer games, which doesn't help either. So what have you been playing, KBG?
I have like I always have a multiplayer mix that I'm bouncing around with while I do a single player venture. And my multiplayer mix lately, man, since I've been on the show last, I freaking adore the finals so much. I only played that once with you guys, but like, and I put a clip of you being the best teammate of all time. But
oh yeah,
AKA blocking me in a hallway where people were chasing us. But anyways, but yeah, I love the finals. That's my main multiplayer fix lately, and still the crack that is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel.
Oh, wow.
And what is it? I just last week, I think, beat Final Fantasy 16 finally. That game was way too long for me.
Yeah?
It was good, but there's so much fluff in it. And if they cut that fluff out, I think it would have been such a something to remember for this generation with its crazy cutscenes. But so now I'm taking a little break before I hop into Diablo 4 for the first time, and I'm back in the world of Tears of the Kingdom. So.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I need to go.
Which is really jarring because like I was playing Lies of P and Final Fantasy 16, which are two like one's like a tactical like action game, and then the other one's like a flashy fast action game, and then I'm like, how do I get this guy over there? It's like it's such a different pace compared to those two. So yeah, that's what I've been up to.
That's the decent games. The finals, man. I've been sticking to the light class, but that light class seems a bit weak to me, man. Like I know by its very nature, its guns don't do that much damage. I don't know. It just feels like it's over. The heavy classes with their turrets are really annoying. Why did they put turrets in cheap shit like that?
Well, that's the medium, but yeah.
The finals.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
that's medium.
It just blends with like I just had one of my friends try it out this morning, and I could tell from the way he was talking about things. I'm like, I think you might really like light class, and I was right. He was a light man, and I could kind of feel people out, and I'm like, I think some people just have favorite classes in that game that they'll run.
How many people heal on that? But yeah, I need to try a medium build. I think I'd be stuck to I bought all the cosmetics, and they look nice on the small one, and I'm like, now I have to go medium.
Help me out there, Kibbity. Fill me out, Kibbity. What would I be? What's the class?
I need to play with you, Ace. So you and I haven't played anything together yet.
I think you'd be a heavy class. I think you'd like the heavy class.
I have a feeling Asa would be heavy class, and I'm only thinking of him from like certain VR things where he's just stabbing somebody with the arrow, and I feel like the heavy class would do that where he's just smacking through walls randomly.
Or the RPG. Yeah, I could see Asa being heavy. I could definitely see Asa being heavy. What about you, Sean? What have you been playing? Talk that shit, bro.
Nah, man, I've been playing. I finished Cocoon. What a dope game. Nice small indie puzzle.
Amazing
beautiful game. And the puzzles and just the way the journey is incredible. These type of games I love. Like, it reminds me of Inside. All these a bit of a different game, but them type of game, Inside, Limbo style. Cocoon, then I decided to finish Planet of Lana as well. Another great game.
Oh, that's a beautiful game as well.
Fantastic music, art direction.
Stuff. Yeah.
And then I was playing Noonie Cooney. I had about 20 hours into it, so I decided to finish that. So that's my first game. Yeah, Noonie Cooney, Nino Cooney, whatever you want to call it.
That's like Noonie Cooney.
The Miyazaki Ghibli looking one.
Yeah.
So the remastered one. So it's a good game. That's got a good story as well. I'm about 20 hours deep in so far, so I'm hoping another 10-15 hours it should be done.
That's Nino Cooney's that's a Studio Ghibli RPG. That was not on PlayStation.
Yeah, that was a PlayStation game. That was one of them games that this PlayStation game is cut for.
Yeah,
it's on Xbox.
Is it on Xbox? I didn't even realize.
Game Pass, baby.
Game Pass.
I played a few hours of. Was it on Game Pass? I played a few hours.
There's 2 parts. I think it's the number 2 I'm playing. I'm not sure which one I'm playing. It's one of the remastered ones. Dope game, good story. And that's the beauty of Game Pass. It gives you a chance to try these different styles of games, like genres you never played before. And I'm going for them, trying these different style of games, different genres, and so far, loving it. 20 hours plus.
I didn't like the first one, Ni no Kuni. I just found the characters and the supporting teammates so useless in the combat.
It is. You gotta build them up. Like every time you run into an enemy, when you're on the open world, you kind of running away from these small enemies, familiars, whatever you want to call them. So, but you play for the story. That's what I'm playing for, to be honest.
Yeah, the story is it's Studio Ghibli. It's got that charm. But I just didn't get on with it. Unfortunately, as much as I wanted to, the characters are annoying the shit out of me. The side characters.
One thing good about that, like good about the characters, you can name them like individual. I got my nieces and my kids named underneath the characters. So when they're fighting, my nieces or my kid or my missus, whatever family, when they come over. What's going on here? You got your kids' name fighting, blah blah blah. So it's nice when you see them. So it's a nice sweet game. Yeah,
that's a sweet touch actually in games and RPGs, particularly when you can name them. Actually, it's pretty cool. And that's a good game. I haven't heard Ni no Kuni in a while. I just gave up with that. But there's quite a few RPGs I've actually not completed. Lots of them. So I'm this year I actually want to actually sit down and complete Lost Odyssey. I lost my save. I'll start again anyway. And I'm just going to try and get that done. I don't think it'll be a good game to live stream, but it's definitely a game I really want to complete.
What you doing now, Gaz?
Now I'm playing freaking the finals. I've been playing that quite a bit. I haven't been playing that much because of like hospital visits and stuff. It's been a great week for me. But yeah, finals have got my multiplayer fix. I downloaded Prince of Persia, but I was ready to play it and I'm itching to play it. But I remember BG's freaking rule: complete one game at a time. I'm like, all right, let me just go back to playing Alan Wake. I'm suffering from like vertigo and these weird like even this light here is just really. That's why I'm wearing a hat. I'm kind of tired of wearing a hat, but the hat is blocking the light in my eyes. So it's a bit of a weird phase at the moment, which is why my channel relaunch has been a bit stalled because of problems. But I'm sure I'll find. Yeah, I'll get there. The MRI will. You're dying. Oh, great. That will give me. Let me get 3 videos out and then piss up some ponies before I pass away. Before we talk into our first set of topics, let me read these super chats. Thank you so much, everyone. First of all, Onyx with a $2 Sean, Gaz is a pony bot player. Talk that shit. WBG. I get called a pony bot all the time. Thanks to you. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. For
well deserved.
I wear that badge with pride. Virtual Bradford shit. Joining the family. Enjoy your stay. It only gets crazier from here. And shout out to Nariko, my brother from another mother. What? Shut up, music. With a £10 super chat. Evening, mother bitches. This week I started Assassin's Creed Odyssey on the Series X and Atomic Heart. Another game I was thinking of getting into probably. Using the top tier GeForce Now for the first time through PC Game Pass on the LG C3. That's a bit of a weird one. He's playing Atomic Heart using GeForce Now, using PC Game Pass on the LG C3.
That's a flex. That's a flex.
That's pretty good.
It's got to make sure, like, I've got the B7. This guy's flexing with the 2023 model, so that's a flex.
He's
7 flexes in one super chat.
In one super chat.
Shout out to Nariko. Yeah, man. I wonder if Atomic Heart is completely forgotten now. It's like a atomic fart in the wind.
I played it. I put a few hours into it, then kind of fell off. Playing that game.
I don't know.
Assassin Odyssey.
I did at the end of or at the start of this year, I did like my favorite games of the year thing, but I instead made it like the Kibi Awards. I made a category that was like best value with Game Pass. Like these are games that it's like, oh, it's really cool you got to play these with Game Pass. I did put that on there, not because of how good it was, but it's like, oh yeah, I would have like this seems like a cool game to not have bought. And it's good enough to be kind of like proud that you got to play it, kind of a thing. So. Oh
yeah. So you've got.
But spoilers, Liza P won that award. So.
Yeah, Liza P deserved a lot more awards, I feel, as well, in the Game Awards.
Such a good game. Yeah.
I got another one I'm going to live stream, but Elijah says Atomic Heart was amazing, and right below it, Griggity Dutt says he hated Atomic Heart.
My WBG.
It can last, man, and it's got some crazy puzzles. That game, they don't really highlight the puzzle solving, I think, but there's some crazy puzzles in that game.
Yeah, I mean, this is again, it just speaks to Game Pass. There's nothing to lose in playing that. I'm going to find a lot of those kind of games this year, hopefully. Palworld, that's on Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that game has taken the freaking gaming world by storm. I didn't expect that to happen. It looked like this. What the hell is this Pokemon with guns or
topic number 1, folks? Palworld sells almost half as much as Spider-Man 2 did in freaking its first 24 hours. That blows my mind.
Yo, 2 million.
That's crazy.
Well, no, it sold over 1 million, but like Spider-Man 2. It like that is PlayStation's apparently fastest selling game in 24 hours. So this game Palworld sold nearly like half of what PlayStation's fastest selling game did. So that's really wild to hear. I don't know.
I think it's hit 2 million sales.
Has it?
You know what I think it is? Don't underestimate the Pokemon fan base. What's the highest grossing franchise of all time? Does anybody know?
It's 2 million in 24 hours.
It's Pokemon, isn't it? Yeah.
It is Pokemon.
Yeah, the chat is saying 2 million in 24 hours.
That's
2
fucking
million?
crazy.
Really? I thought I saw a
It-
million. Holy shit.
That's how fast it is. As soon as you woke up, like, oh shit, 2 million, 800 plus concurrent players. This
Let's see. 2 million players. Yeah, 2 million players in 24 hours, but that is an equivalent to sales because of Game Pass situation. But maybe
We'll count it. Don't worry about it. We'll
but
count it towards it.
sure. But 2 million players in 24 hours is an absolute feat. Totally.
Even blasted past the Modern Warfare 3's game player numbers in a few hours of release, and that's a big thing for a game that we were kind of semi laughing at. Like, what is this game,
Yeah,
man? It's got guns and Pokemon and shit.
Let me ask you guys something. Guys, I'll ask you. Could this be like the Fortnite for this generation? Could it be that game where they build upon early access?
Thing is, there's a lot of games that come in and just become the zeitgeist for like at least like a week or like 2 days, and I feel like this is one of those games. Like, I don't know if it has the staying power of it. I may be completely wrong. I'm just guessing here, but I'm just taken aback by the success of this. So, like, I did not expect this. I haven't played this. It wasn't on my radar. We looked at it, but talked about it briefly on shows previously. But like, this is why I'm asking you the question. What is it about this game? What is so good about this game?
Dude, it's not about it being good. Keep in mind, like, you look at the Transformers movies, right? The Transformers movies, they made bank. Like, they've set records, but Rotten Tomatoes, they're like 30%, but they still made bank. This isn't me dissing on Palworld, but I'm saying, like, something doesn't necessarily have to be good to make tons of sales. But that's why I'm saying I see like Hilton in the chat saying Game Pass killing it. Yeah, Game Pass was a big factor, absolutely, to kind of spread word of mouth. But there's also, because again, I think this is an Xbox in terms of consoles. It's the only console that's doing it, right?
Oh, we're taking it. It's a console exclusive.
Well, yeah. So
it's not on PlayStation. It's not on Nintendo. We're taking it.
But that's my point. Is so, like, how is it getting this many numbers if it's not even on the main console that Pokemon players are on? But that's the thing. It's living off of Pokemon, and if Pokemon wasn't as big as it was, the highest grossing franchise of all time, it's not on PlayStation, it's not on Nintendo.
It's early access, guys, and PlayStation doesn't have early access.
Oh shit.
So just remember, earlier this week as well, a lot of the guys were talking that shit about certain games that's coming to the PlayStation. We could say we got Palworld exclusive, console exclusive. Even though it's not first party, it counts.
It's like Diablo all over again, but for the Xbox. It's a weird one.
And it became like in the top 10 highest concurrent players on Steam, which is insane. I think it did that.
Insane.
So crazy. It's so crazy, and I think that's just, again, don't underestimate how much Pokemon has affected the world. Like, if they see Pokemon with guns, they're like, I need to at least check this out, kind of thing.
Have any of us played it?
I've started it, played about half an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need more time with this. I can't play it for 1 hour and then kind of can't give my judgment on it, so I thought I'd hold back. But a lot of people have been
2 million
talking to the
sales,
homies.
not players, by the way.
It's sales. 2 million sales.
It's sales. I looked into it. Sales. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll talk to a few of the homies, and it does take a bit of time to get used to it because you're crafting, you're building your benches, you repair bench, and you're collecting. You got to pick up like sticks, stones. You're crafting, and obviously you can fight as well in this game. You could like throw punches. So I think as you explore the game, you pick up certain characters along the way. I think it becomes like that type of game where everybody's hooked onto it. That gameplay loop. You're fighting people, fighting like this, if it's animals or whatever you want to call them, creatures. Building yourself up, crafting. When it comes to crafting, so many people like them type of games. Especially the PC dudes as well. Now you got Pokemon with guns. That's a unique type of...
That's a weird
combination.
It sells itself, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Actually, it's kind of genius if you think about it. Like, they've just put Fortnite mixed with Pokemon. It's just like handcrafting and building, and then boom, there you go.
Just go.
Yeah, and then that's it. Look at it. Look at the freaking... I don't even know what... it's mad.
This proves it, like, Gaz, Ace, and Samurai as well. This proves, like... I looked at this game... I'm not really interested in it, but I could try because this is in Game Pass as well. But it shows you there's an audience out there. Forget hardcore people. There's an audience out there, and look at the numbers it's doing already.
Yeah.
Everybody in this panel may not like this game. We can say
Yeah,
this
it's
game is
true,
complete
very
dog
true.
shit.
Yeah.
But the numbers don't lie. You look
Yeah,
at them numbers,
exactly.
we ain't shit.
Yeah. And I see like Call Me
a
and
very
Jay in
good
the
point.
chat saying it's not Fortnite like game, Gaz, which that's what I've been seeing. It's more like it's a survival game, which I had no idea. I had no idea that's what it was. All I saw in the trailer was just Pokemon with guns fighting each other,
Yeah.
which they knew, that would sell it. but when I look at like the actual like walkthroughs and stuff, I'm like, oh, this is a survival game. This is like you building your base and taking care of it. And the part that actually gets me, so fun fact, I'm a guy that loves me some settlement building stuff. And like when the base is on autopilot and I kind of just get to, manage it. That's something I love about Cult of the Lamb. Like, I don't like the fighting. I like building the village and stuff and making sure they're doing everything. And when I saw that you could like capture the pals or whatever, I think they're just called pals, and you can make them do all this stuff for you and basically
get them working.
you bring back slavery. And I'm just like, okay, I kind of like this. Like we're gonna fight,
Okay.
but we're also you guys are gonna work for me, kind of a thing. So I had no idea.
Hey, like the game is
That's
doing
gonna be a
great,
clip out of context.
Yes,
we know where
it
it's
is.
coming from.
Slavery.
You got people working for you and they're doing the job for you. So it's doing the numbers, and I like to see where this can. It's early access. It's on Steam as well on Steam and Xbox as well. So I like to see where this game is going to be at in the next like 2 weeks or so. Is it just all the hype, or will it be something like for this generation? This could be the Fortnite of this gen. Who knows?
And I'm curious what's missing with it being an early access too.
Yeah.
Because I always get a little bit weary when
It's
I see
a bit rough.
that.
The performance is rough. Like you can tell it stutters when you're playing it here and there. And early access is perfect. Like, just like Baldur's Gate, that was the early access. Over them years, people give the feedback, and I think once the game comes full release, it'll be something special. A lot of games have done that. Fortnite, PUBG, they all do it. So this could be something for the new buzz for this gen.
It's crazy. It came out of nowhere.
eFresh guy has a question. Is there any co-op or PvP? I think so.
There is.
I thought I saw
There's some sort of multiplayer or something on it.
Yeah.
Element.
Yeah.
But I've not tried it.
Oh, okay.
So it's
we'll have to
weird
look
little thing
into-
about that game. The Xbox and PC Game Pass version is a couple of versions behind the Steam version. So at the moment, the multiplayer is more limited as part of the early access thing, but within a couple of weeks, and once it's got through certification, then I think it's 32 player servers.
Oh, that's nice.
yeah.
That's nice.
That'd be cool. Okay.
Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, well, let's definitely see how it plays out. Let me make these super chats. Nerds and other legends. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Microsoft should cut the check and buy Palworld acquisitions.
Why not?
Dan Nazara. I haven't seen Dan in a while. Thank
That's
you for the
the
$5
homie.
super chat. He goes, I haven't watched the podcast in a year, and I guarantee Gaz is still whining and complaining about Xbox. Sean, don't go easy on him. I see
The
that.
sauce has got to be dealt with
Dan's super
masala.
chat has not changed in a year as well. He's still complaining about me complaining. He hasn't changed, but his profile picture's changed, which is good. He looks a little bit more miserable in this one. World-renowned Geo. I mean, it looks a little bit serious. World-renowned GeoHound. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I may heavily disagree with most of you about the developer direct. I thought it was mostly embarrassing, cheap Game Pass filler overall, but I still love showing support and kicking it with my Xbox.
Who said that?
World-renowned GeoHound.
Man. It's opinions.
Oh, man.
We'll see.
We're going to get into that in a bit. We're going to get to shout out to King Thrash Gaming. He goes,
Here we go with this bullshit.
he goes, are we pretending that Pokemon doesn't sell more than 2 million at full price on one platform in 24 hours?
Exactly. That's why I'm saying don't underestimate it. The similar branding, man. Don't underestimate it. All they needed to do is Pokemon with guns.
That's crazy. He is a masterclass in masterstroke in design. It's like they knew it. Like, come on, Pokemon will sell. Give guns. Pokemon good. Guns good. Building good. Money. And then just boom. Who are the developers of this game? Who develops Palworld?
Oh, I thought I knew, but
I don't even know. Do you know who made it?
I'm sure people will know it now after this week.
That name will.
I hope so. I certainly hope so. Yeah.
I don't even know who made it. But yeah, okay. So, other than Palworld, we've had rumors of Final Fantasy 16 actually making its way to Xbox. This has been circulated by Special Nick. Now, normally, I would err on the side of caution in quoting Special Nick when it comes to rumors, because there's more chance of me getting syphilis using Bluetooth. But
Come on.
But Special Nick has been on the money quite recently on multiple levels. I have to give him his flowers, bro. He was right on. He knew on the developer direct that the Square Enix game is going to be Mana, the Tales of Mana, or whatever it's called.
The Vision of Mana.
Yeah, the Vision of Mana. I'll be interesting question about how many people actually play that on Xbox. But yeah, he's been correct on that, and a few other things. So Special Nick gets his flowers, but he's been hearing about Final Fantasy 16. In fact, actually, I'll park that to the dev talk and the Square Enix as a surprise appearance. Which well, let's just talk about it now. We're going to talk about the developer direct buy as well. Like, first of all,
okay.
let me actually no, I'm doing a terrible job here. Let's get well, get used to it. Let's talk about The Last of Us 2 Remaster came out. And it got great reviews. Just like Naughty Dog recycled the game, the reviewers recycled their reviews. Let's talk about this game. Does anybody care about it? Do we expect it to sell a lot?
Nope.
That's what I'm really curious about, is if it'll sell, like, if it was worth it, kind of a thing.
Why would it sell? The only way I can see it selling, the game sold over 10 million on the PlayStation 4. I'm certain a lot of the PlayStation dudes will go for the upgrade path, unless they count that as a sale.
Yeah, oh, they might. That's a good point.
$10 upgrade. Well, people were getting charged full price because, you know, when it comes to Sony's policy of upgrading, is dog shit. But who remembers when they said smart delivery was a buzzword? Who remembers that shit?
Yeah.
You POSs.
Say,
I'm glad you get him charged full price on that game.
I will say, for like the upgrade that is $10, I think the $10 is incredibly worth it for what they're offering with it.
But
Samurai,
like, did you see the picture, side by side picture?
Oh, I'm not talking about the comparison. I'm just talking about the extra content. If somebody, I'm not talking about the comparison. I'm just talking about the extra content that, like, I'm not going to pay $10 to visually upgrade this game. I wouldn't do that. But for like, oh, here's 2 other secret levels. Here's a brand new, like, kind of survival mode. And yeah, there's some outfits. I don't really care about that. I just care about the new stuff that wasn't in it before. I consider it kind of like a DLC back in the day. We used to do that.
Yeah.
We pay like $8 or $12 for a little DLC pack like this, and that's the way I think of it. But I wonder how many people thought of it in that way and got it. Like, I haven't done that, but I also don't own Last of Us 2, so I borrowed that off of somebody to play it. But
I'll be honest with you. Like, I know everybody knows I'm an Xbox guy, but I played that game in 2020 when it launched. I finished it in one weekend. It's a technical masterpiece, no doubt, on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro. Technical masterpiece. Some of the story beats I did not like, the way they did certain things. But, 36 months in, a remaster, it should be a free upgrade. Personally, and I know last summer I talked about the small content when it comes to that survival mode and skins. But realistically, come on. The game doesn't look much better when you look at the side-by-side comparison. And a lot of people, either you pay full price or you do the $10 upgrade fee. You're not getting a lot for it. And it seems like this is what PlayStation is doing with the director's cut, remasters. They're just milking it until they're waiting for the studios to make the brand new game or the brand new sequel. So, and you know what? It works. The PlayStation dudes are eating it up.
Do you think this will sell well? Do you think this will sell well?
It probably when it comes to the PC.
You asked a good question or you made a good point about the fact that, do we think the $10 upgrade, like, if anyone uses that, is going to be treated as a sale? Asa, do you think that would be treated as a sale? So an upgrade?
I don't think it matters to anybody whether it's treated as a sale or not. So in terms of whether it's going to sell well or not, and what numbers Sony tout publicly, it's probably not going to sell masses. When it does, most of them will be the £10 upgrade. It will have a tail of people buying it over time when they get a PlayStation or when they get the PC version of it inevitably soon. But more importantly, it doesn't need to sell that well. It needs to recoup the development cost plus some. And the development cost for slight differences to lighting and a little bit of extra content means, it'll probably sell well enough for that purpose.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I
And
don't.
they did cancel factions, so they must have put a lot of money into that content.
That's a
so.
good point as well.
Yeah,
I'm not
and
sure
I think if this was just
sorry.
if this was just like the quote unquote visual upgrade, then there's no reason that they should charge for this, because that's what the smart delivery stuff is. That's, like, people shouldn't have to pay the extra bucks if they own a game to upgrade it like that. And that's why I'm saying the extra content helps soften that blow, in my opinion, at least. But yeah, if it was just for the visuals, this is too new of a game. Way too new of a game.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's why it's reviewing well. We haven't talked about the reviews, but yeah.
Yeah, like a prime example, when the God of War got announced for his DLC, that was free, and a lot of people said that was underestimated. That should be in a charge.
Yeah.
That was wild. I couldn't believe that.
Even though I make fun of it, but I'm saying, like, a lot of people who's played it, this deserved to be like a $20 game or something.
Totally.
And you charging $10 for a small lighting upgrade and a small survival mode, and you got God of War, a free DLC.
That's a lot
of people said it was
comparison.
dope. Do you know what I mean? So I reckon the reason why they're doing this for is because obviously factions got cancelled. They lost a lot of money, so they're trying to recoup that bit of money and that. And obviously, when it comes to the PC, I'm sure they'll sell like probably up to 1 million copies. So hopefully it'll recover.
I think the Naughty Dog do need to soften the blow, whatever money they've lost out with factions being cancelled. But yeah, I saw a lot of that. I saw also some people say the very same thing you said about the fact that it's odd that God of War is a free DLC when they could have easily, well within their rights, to charge for that. Whereas this one seems a little bit of a stretch to pay for. We got Jax82, thank you for the $2 super chat, because they could have put this in the PlayStation version of The Last of Us 2. The additional content. Yeah, fair enough. And King Thrash with a $5 super chat. Or, of course, sorry, I think he has a typo. If you count Game Pass for the Pokemon like game, why wouldn't you count the upgrade sales? Fair enough. It's not just a visual upgrade; it's adding a new style of play. I imagine the new game mode. Yeah, no, I'm just wondering whether that would count as a sale. I'm pretty sure it would. But yeah, I mean, but the Digital Foundry comparisons were actually laughable because they were just like, huh? It's the same freaking game with better resolution.
But that kind of speaks to how good like Last of Us 2 looked. Last of Us 2 looked amazing at the time.
Yeah,
and so it's like, how do you upgrade? Like, how do you upgrade that when it's so soon? And speaking to the reviews, like this is a really weird thing to review. It's such a weird thing to review because it just, the second game reviewed well. What do we do? What do we do?
Well, having not played this game, and I won't be playing it, but I will say this retrospectively, that I would make the argument that reviews should be a little bit more critical of The Last of Us 2, because where's the multiplayer? The multiplayer was stalled on the premise that there's going to be a standalone game. Remember, the first game had it, and I get it. You assess it on the value of the merits of the game on its own value, and I guess factions, The Last of Us 2 factions got that benefit because of this impending release of factions. But now that's cancelled, I feel like, well, compared to its predecessor, you kind of gave us half a game and a story that was divisive. I don't know. I feel like there's a valid argument to raise there, but we'll see.
It should have taken a hit. It should have taken a hit because a lot of people, like, you talk about like BG, Jack Move, they were excited for that Last of Us. They just wanted it out, regardless if it failed a couple of months down the line. They just wanted to see that kind of multiplayer because they loved the first one. It should have dropped, but it shows you when it comes to live service games, it's not easy. It's not easy. So that's why you got to give credit to like Gears, Halo, them type of studios making live service games with a campaign as well. It proves it like it's not easy as it looks. So it is what it is. And personally, I think everybody agrees that we didn't need a remaster.
Yeah, I don't know what's Sony fans. I guess Nintendo. It's $10 upgrade, and for fans they'll like it. Fair enough, but I think Naughty Dog severe questions need to be asked of Naughty Dog, especially after the failure of their factions. There's going to be a lot of pressure. I think they'll do well with their next game. I'm sure it's going to be visually astounding because they're obviously 100%. Quite extremely talented. But I can understand the frustrations from the Naughty Dog fans, about what the hell the studio is doing. But yeah, the reviewers didn't care. After all, it is the same game. Before we get into the Xbox Direct, I saw this interesting little thing floating about the net interwebs. Halo Infinite is not going to have any more seasons anymore. That seems to suggest to me that they're looking to dial back maybe in terms of content. It has a lot of content. What's your take on this? What's actually happening? Because I didn't follow it that closely.
I don't know if we want to
do it.
You know me, like I'll ramble, so I don't know if we want Sean to get in here first or anything, but
go for it. Go for it.
So I'm the Halo guy, basically. I love Halo. It's my favorite game franchise of all time, and from like a fan perspective, because I watched a lot of Halo YouTube channels, they brought up a good point. They're basically potentially transitioning to what they did with Master Chief Collection, where Master Chief Collection also had kind of like a seasonal format, but then eventually they shifted to just kind of constantly updating the game in some ways, and just keeping the game alive, basically. No like massive drops or anything like that, and it seems like maybe that's what Infinite's kind of shifting to after running for. It's in its third year now. It hasn't been 3 years, but so that's what they're potentially transitioning to doing. And there's a lot of like little nuggets in this update that I could list, but just in terms of the seasonal thing, they're definitely transitioning to a new thing, which at the end of the stream they said they have multiple teams, which is great to hear. They have a team that's devoted to updating Infinite, and they have another like 2 teams working on other like new Halo projects. And it's like, oh, okay. And he literally ended the stream with that. So I'm really curious. I have a video I kind of want to do about this, because I think Infinite as a platform, this is what we wanted. Like Infinite as a platform now, this is what it is. It's literally like the Roblox of Halo. There's so much content in it now. Yeah. But is it too late? Like, do they come out with something new and that's the new multiplayer, or do they kind of have a relaunch for this and make it the multiplayer platform while they do campaigns? It's an entire video I want to do. But
Boba Fett Gaming says makes an interesting comment in chat. He says it's far better than it's ever been, but the community hasn't come back for the multiplayer like they should have.
I would say the mainstream hasn't come back. I think the Halo like the hard community, like they're there, and it's kind of the sad part. Halo's kind of become this, Halo Infinite specifically, it's become this like community driven game instead of like what was the once big blockbuster everybody's playing it game. Yeah. And it's a game that's literally being like lived on by its community, with some jumps whenever something big happens, sure, but I don't see it reaching the mainstream masses. So
we do. I don't
know how they do that.
We do live in a different time where everybody's into the free to play stuff on multiple platforms, where Halo's only on Xbox and PC, and kids are just like Fortnite, Apex Legends, these type of Palworld is the next one now, but it's a difficult one because, like what you were talking about with the season updates were like 3 to 4 months, 6 months sometimes it was with the Infinite. These small operation updates will be like 4 to 6 weeks, and we do know there's a new leadership. He was in charge of the Master Chief collection, so I understand exactly what he's doing. He's copying that formula, which is worked for him.
Yeah,
I love it. It's the right time. It's been it's coming into the 3rd year right now, so it makes sense that the main team is focusing on a brand new Halo, either as campaign or something new, and let the smaller team carry on with the multiplayer updates. And like I said, we talk about the Forge mode, the season content updates. The game's always played great, fantastic game is, but when it comes to the live service game, it's a difficult one to like in this like day and age. It's hard to.
Like, how do you bring people back when like I just said, Halo's my favorite franchise. The finals pulled me away, man. I love the finals. It's my new first-person shooter. But and there's so many others. If people are into Apex, if people are into COD, like there's so much competition compared to what it used to be back in the day. So even if Halo launched in the way it is, I think we'd have a much different conversation if it launched how it is today back in the day.
It's still got a struggle,
but even then, it's like it's just so saturated. There's so much to fight against.
But there's also so much competition at the moment as well. I just feel like, but at the same time, despite that, you do have there's enough pie there for everything. Like you just saw with Palworld, how many people flocked to it. I think the finals has a very healthy player base as well. Search queues I was playing today, all playlists under 1 minute, like insta finding games. Apex Legends, now that has grown into something huge in Japan. It's like their #1 game in Japan.
That's crazy, that one.
Japan, Apex Legends just still doesn't sound. It sounds weird. So
and look, and as Igor points out, with Foam Stars coming up, Halo doesn't have a chance, man.
It's that PlayStation fragrance. That's what it is.
oh shit!
How can you possibly fight against Foam Stars, man?
People were like laughing at Palworld.
Hey, you got
like,
people in.
Dude, I mean, hey, no lie though. I played Foam Stars. I thought that was fun. I thought it was actually pretty fun.
Yo, you got people. Listen. You got people out here saying, if you don't play Foam Stars, you don't support it, I'm gonna block you. You got people out there saying that shit. Shout out to Jay Barry for blocking me.
Did he block you?
Sauce.
Oh shit! Oh, he didn't block me. Oh, his friend Persona did. I don't think Jay Barry's blocked me yet.
But
I think he'll be blocked by all the pros.
After today, he will.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. They're pretty soft.
If anybody was curious about like the very fast synopsis of what their community stream was, cross-core shoulders, that's finally in. So now Spartans are insanely customizable. They have a match composer like Master Chief Collection. Like it's been in the works. They want that out by this year. So that's really cool. That'll change up how the playlists are. They have some new Forge objects that look like the Covenant, like actual like Covenant scheme instead of Banish theme, which is like very old school.
Good. Yeah, I like
they're gonna add some other objects and whatever, but flood, not flood in the game, but flood like settings. That's part of Forge as well. That's coming up. They are gonna try to figure out a way that you can get old, like limited time event stuff. Like they want to find a way for them to you always be able to get that. So they're working on that too. If you're a fan, like a longtime fan, Halo Wars armor, the Mark IV armor, man, it looks so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Looks so like I can't believe that's gonna be in a first-person shooter. It looks so good, but yeah, just a lot of little stuff. But yeah, like this is their transition to just kind of doing these updates. So we'll see.
I have a lot of faith in this new team, just based on the successes that we've seen with Halo since Pierre Hintze took over, and it's really good. It seems like a little bit too late for in a lot of ways, but at the same time, it's great. Halo's in a great place, like multiplayer wise. I do really enjoy it. The finals that's pulled me away. I'm very intrigued now to see what they do with Halo. But according to Special Nick as well and other sources as well, they Tatanka, made by Certain Affinity, that's been tanked now. That's no longer that's been cancelled completely.
There's so much he say she say stuff with that. I just want to know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah,
2022. Yeah,
that was never.
I just want to know what they're doing, man.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm tired of these rumors, these leaks. I just want to know.
That's what it is, Samurai. These were rumors.
Even if it's like 4 or 5 years away, I just want to know because I'm tired of all this he said she said bullshit.
It's definitely was it. Sorry, before you go, when it comes to like that Tatanka, they said in 2022 that kind of got pushed back, kind of got dead basically. They killed it off, but we know for a fact they did a stream and they go, we're working on Halo. They're doing something, so we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on there. I'm sure it'll be. I'm very intrigued. Still intrigued with Halo. Still want to see what they do next. I'll always be a Halo stan. Keep giving it so many chances, but I did with Bonnie's team, which I don't have much faith. Which I've lost faith in, and she's gone. And the new team, like fixing that stuff, Master Chief Collection, tough task. You did it. Halo Infinite, really.
But never forget, guys, a lot of people might have made fun. I know you were going at it at one point for 1 year and I slapped you up on that. But when it came to Halo Infinite, the campaign, it got an 87 Metacritic. It was received well. It's a dope campaign, but it was the live service and the update content that it shows it how difficult is it. The campaign was fire. I'm not saying it was perfect, but it was a solid campaign, and it got an 87. I really enjoyed
the campaign, but the story, there was so much potential, even in the engine, even though how dated it looked. I loved the scale of it. So so I'm intrigued about what they're doing. Apparently, I'm really intrigued to see how this Unreal Engine Halo will work. I'll always be a Halo stan, and I think Halo will come about when we start talking about the next Xbox, whenever that is, and that actually hitting launch would be a big thing that this generation of Xbox severely missed. BT Maverick 707 with the $5 super chat with the TTS. Is King Thrash still trying to land on gas planets with his magic short bus? Why?
TTS player.
Let's talk that shit. Yeah, look, me and King Thrash have gone back and forth, and we will still do it. And he still comes at me, and I'll still go at him. But you know what? One thing I will say, he's very entertaining. Although I don't like the whole Game Pass watching thing. I think that's a bit weird, but he's very entertaining.
He's
and
a piece of
know. I should bring you and him together. Well, watch this space. Watch this space indeed. Well, look, King Thrash is not a fan of the brand. And a lot of people are not a fan of the brand. Yeah, despite that, they really care about Xbox, apparently. Because despite the fact that they want these games on Xbox, on PlayStation, and we saw that no sooner than this week, it was crazy noise. Xbox finally had a developer direct while PlayStation guys are starving. They're dying. They're hungry. Give us a state of play. They're begging for something good. This poor APG has lost his mind. And Xbox in the second or third week, whatever, just spunks out the developer direct. Now, I live streamed that. I had my own take on it. Asa, did you live stream? I think you did, or did a post-show thing. I think we're on at the same time. Let's just go. Should we get general impressions, I think, of the showcase, or should we talk about
top
that
of the floor, maybe? I forget what the phrase is, but yeah.
Do you think that's a good idea? Just give our impressions generally and then go into the games? Okay.
We can do it in that order.
Asa, what do you think?
I like that.
Yeah,
so
go for it. Asa,
the
what
thing
do you
that
think of
stood out for me, and I'm going to be repeating this now because we're going to go over multiple games, right? But the thing that really stood out is they seem to be letting their developers create things with complete impunity from what the industry expects and what their peers have been doing. And you see that across game after game. And obviously you've got the really obvious example in indie, but I would say that that is true of most of the games in there, possibly all of the games in there. There's no pressure to make indie what people thought it would be. There's no pressure to make Hellblade what people might have wanted it to be. There's no pressure to do anything that they don't want to. They've got their vision, they stick to it, and they make it. So the developer direct in that sense, regardless of what you think of the individual games in there, and I know it's a little bit divisive. Some people don't like some of them, some people do. But in terms of creative freedom and Xbox letting those developers flourish and shine on what they want, it's hard to fault. Yeah. It's hard to find a fault there, isn't it? Because that element of it, freaking awesome.
Good point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's undeniable. The variety you get on Xbox is insane, and you could definitely see that Xbox is giving a lot of autonomy to these studios to deliver what they want, because that's the kind of impression you get from just looking at the way they talk about the games and the way the games look and they play. What do you think about it, KBG? What were your general impressions of the game? Of the showcase?
First off, that's a super good point for Mesa, because like even just the decisions of, we'll get to Indiana Jones, but the decision of how they chose to make that game perspective wise and other things, like, would a publisher that wants to sell more maybe have changed that? Yeah, maybe, but like, no, we just make the game that you want to make and make it the best you can, kind of a thing with what we can give you. And we'll hopefully give you well more than enough. But yeah, so I saw somebody, like, as we started this stream, like, somebody was like, Kibaji had a shit take on that developer direct. And now
I get that a lot.
The
thing is, and this is what I was messaging Gaz about, where it's like, I might join this panel, and this might be the first time that I am not the kumbaya person, but maybe the person that's actually, like, bitter. But the thing is, I thought the developer, everybody just thinks that I was shitting on the direct. Not true.
Yeah,
I thought that developer direct was so good. It was such a great way. I heard this on somebody else's podcast. I want other people to do this. I want other publishers to do this, where they, like, you get to see the developers show their game instead of like having somebody go, oh, right, for our next game, we're going to go check out these people. And it's like, but you just literally let the developers show off their stuff. Microsoft sends this video team over, and it's just it's a format that I just loved. I love Vidocs back in the day. I used to watch those all the time for like
Vidocs,
Gears of War 2 and Halo 3. I thought those are awesome. And just getting to see the team talk about their thing. And that's what I love this show for. And I thought they showed every game super well, super fairly. Even though I think indie clocked the most time, I felt like everybody was shown basically equally, honestly. I just love seeing it. And my grievance that people were like, he's complaining so much, is I personally think Mana was super out of left field, and it really, to me personally, ruined what this developer direct could have been, because now we know that anybody could be here. This is not a first party focused show anymore. This was not an exclusive. This was not a Game Pass release. This was not an Xbox Game Studios funded game. This is just a game that's coming to Xbox.
Not yet.
That's it. And that's the only connection to it. So that's to me, that was the biggest bummer that I just had so much grievance with, because I love this being a check-in with their 30 plus studios. I love that idea.
You wanted it to just be an Xbox first party. Okay. Totally.
Because unless it's like a partner thing, because that's why there was a moment when I saw that I was like, is this a Square Enix Xbox Game Studios partnership game kind of a thing? Oh my God, they got Kojima and now Square. Oh no, this is just a game coming to Xbox kind of a thing. So that's my biggest grievance with it, and maybe we'll get to that with Mana. But and the other thing is the lack of a first quarter game. I was really bummed by that, because the whole our goal is to have a game release every quarter of the year.
Yep.
Forza Motorsport released in October. October was Forza Motorsport, and the next game will be Hellblade 2 in May. That is a 7-month gap, people. It's a 7-month gap. I don't care, but it's just, I'm just saying, I think this is me as an Xbox fan talking here. I love Xbox. People are thinking I'm bashing on it. It's just personal take.
Absolutely.
I would have loved the developer direct to be first party focus, and I was really rooting for them to have a first quarter game, because that would have just made this year feel spread out exactly like last year did.
Samurai, there was a lot of things they had planned, like for example, Stalker 2. We know what's happened. That should have hit Q1, they were saying. That got pushed back to September.
And I'm not talking about Xbox generally, because people keep throwing that at me too. It's
I'm
like,
is
there nothing to play until Hellblade 2? And I'm like, no. I'm talking about like the first party stuff. Yeah. So.
No, that's the ambition, but like we'll get to the main game. But talking about like the developer direct, this is perfect for these developers, because they are showcasing their game. They want to talk about the game. A lot of people say support the developers. We should look into this, because the amount of work that goes into this game, from the audio design, gameplay design, just research about, like, say for example, like Indiana Jones or Hellblade, when you go to Iceland, getting all that information and putting that into a game. To see the developers talk about it, their passion as well, this is a perfect direct showcase to show these developers that this is a game we are making. This is what we've been doing for this game, and it's good to get that insight for each and every studio, like what type of game they're making and what they want to do for this game, and what is their passion, like what they want to achieve. And I love seeing that for this developer direct. Highlight the developers and their game.
Yeah. And what is your take on it generally? What do you think about the dev direct?
Last year, I loved it. I thought it was a perfect format to showcase their games. Developers were talking over the game instead of like some PR bullshit. It's the developers are talking about the games. They did the same again, and I liked it. I liked the format, and hopefully they continue to improve and continue to do this format for the future.
I think I'd like to see more of these.
Such a good format.
Yeah, not just every January, but have a couple of these. That'd be really nice. But then you've got the Xbox showcase in the summer.
Don't forget, like guys, you got the summer showcase. You got the partner preview showcases as well. Mm-hmm. The new one they did last year.
Yeah.
So they are working on things, and maybe they might do another direct later.
We haven't even seen the ABK stuff. Yeah.
So we don't know what's going to happen, but it's nice to see like what's going on. What's the first party games that's coming out as of right now? What we know, if they do hit them dates. and let the developers just talk about the games. And I love seeing that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I love it. The dev talk kind of bored me as well. Like some of the stuff, like we'll talk about the. I gave it a 6 or 7, and everyone's like, "Oh, you hate it." I'm like, I thought it was a solid show. 6 or 7 is not a bad score. But
here's the thing, guys. It's called Developer Direct.
I know. It's called Dev Direct.
So your expectation going into, it's going to be a showcase. I know I was pissing about with the showcase, but it's focused on the developers.
I know.
Now, if this was an Xbox game showcase or the secret showcase for the PlayStation, then it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
But this is a Developer Direct. It says it in the title. That's the headline. So that was your fault, your POS.
Well, I don't think the Ara guy, for instance, was like, if they're talking, make it interesting. And the Ara, for instance, they were like, well, the wildlife that we have that's procedurally generated, at one point it was really rough. And then we did some testing internally, and then we toned it down. I'm like, fucking didn't need to know that. Why are you telling us that? And like, fuck,
I thought it was
works.
fun. I love that. Like, I was just listening to Kind of Funny earlier, and they were like, I'm glad they left that in because it was funny. I'm like, that's what I mean. It added this sense of personality to it that honestly, was that an important thing for us to know? No, but it kind of like, it just added character, I guess. But I totally get what you mean.
You forget about this.
Everything.
It's important to them. Not to us, because we are gamers. Yeah. These are developers. They're making the games. It's important to them.
Just
and
make our games. Give us the games we want, you bastard.
Shut up, you bitch.
And look, okay, this is a little bit serious, but especially after last year, I love this shit. Because there were so many developers last year that got totally screwed over. And it was really cool to like see what these guys are doing, kind of a thing. And as Asa was saying earlier, just kind of felt like, you know, this is us getting to see and getting to know what their vision is for this game as we see bits of it and just seeing them explain it instead of like some sizzle reel that kind of just skims by it. So it's
shout out to Colin.
I love it. I want to see Nintendo and PlayStation do this too. I really do. I think it'd be so it adds a face. It adds a face to these games instead of it just being the games. And it gives you like people to root for creatively. I love it.
We got to see exactly why there's no games in Q1 and why so many things get delayed, because half the time they're riding bikes and playing Dungeons and Dragons.
You're not lying about that. They're having fun. Listen, these teams were struggling at one point. These teams were struggling paycheck to paycheck, going to publish, trying to sell their games, selling their bitch ass on the street corners. They were trying to sell their games back. Remember Tim Schafer? Do you remember Tim Schafer trying to kickstart? Psychonauts 2 was a Kickstarter game. Imagine we didn't have a kick. That game is so good, Psychonauts 2. That came from a Kickstarter, and obviously with Microsoft money, it took it to another level. But it shows you, like, I know they're just having fun because they don't need to sell the game. They just make the game and just
get
have
to focus
fun.
on working on it. Yeah, I don't know if we want to like.
Sweet. That's so sweet in there. Yeah.
I don't know if we want to say this.
Why do we fucking do this, bro? Why do we like caress developers, bro? Like to touch their breath. They give us the games that we want, but it doesn't mean we have to like to see their faces all the time. Oh, they're riding bikes or that can be boring. It's just like, I'm just saying, I look at that and I'm like, I'm not trying to say like these are the people who I'm grateful that they're building these games, but that doesn't mean I have to like the bullshit that they chat about.
And here's the thing, you don't have
watch
to.
it.
That's what I was going to say. Like, here's the thing.
I want to see the games, bro.
No. It's called a developer direct. You're going to see the developers talking about the game. Don't watch it, play.
Last year was better because they actually showed a lot more gameplay. That's my
last year because you had Starfield there. It was a big game, big IP.
Starfield wasn't there last year, the developer direct.
Well, Redfall was there.
They are human. I don't give a
So the hype was there.
But I don't know if like just while we're talking generally here, because I see people earlier saying like, well, don't forget we have another Call of Duty as well in the back half of the year, Stalker 2 and stuff. And I'm like, okay, here's the thing though. Everything you're listing is in the back half of the year. And this is a repeat of what I would say 2021 was. And this is what I said in my video. 2021. Awesome year for Xbox. With the games they released, there was like 6 first-party things. Deathloop, it's like that was the 6th game. And I don't know if people consider that, even though it was PlayStation exclusive at the time. But that was 6 games, and they all reviewed over 80 on Metacritic. They did great, but they were all in the back like 5 months of the year, I think, maybe 6. Mm-hmm. And it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen this year. every game in that showcase is for the back half of the year, except Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2 is going to be in May, and I see somebody bringing up Arc 2. I bet you Arc 2 is in the back half of the year as well. I think like the back half of the year is going to be so packed that we have to enjoy ourselves right now and hit that backlog, because that back 100%. Half of the year, good luck.
Episode 13 is like, yes, these developers have personality. Really? Actually, some of them did do. Some of them had some pretty interesting fashion sense. That Japanese guy with that leather jacket really took me away. Like, yo, that Japanese jacket.
Cool, bro. He looked like a Yakuza.
He looked like he had a sex dungeon. But let's talk about the games.
The next Bobby Kotick.
I did not say that.
You did say that.
I did not say that. Jimmy Andel, thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, I was told one remake sold. Last of Us, I think one remake sold around 3 million copies when it launched. So The Last of Us 2 Remastered probably selling well.
But I don't believe there's an upgrade path for that.
Well, they'll count it as a sale. So
no, but the Last of Us remake was a full-blown game. There was no upgrade path. Last of Us 2's got an upgrade path, so it won't be.
That was actually more of a remake as well than a remaster. Let's be real. So that's much more significant. Georgie with the $2 super chat, can't get hyped since Xbox is going multiplat. Yo, Satya Nadella, with your bald head, can you stop fucking doing interviews, talking about making games, going everywhere? He's such a dick. Like, what the last one he did, he goes, I'm happy to gather games on PlayStation, on Nintendo, on PC, mobile. And then he mentions Xbox right in the end. What a fucking bastard. Remember the Xbox, yeah, bastard? Try and mention Xbox first when you're listing the platforms. You absolute... If it goes third party, it's that guy's fault, bro. I'm gonna slap some coconut oil on his head. He is a problem, bro. I say when he's
get him back in Street Fighter. Uncle Satya, Dalsim.
Uncle Satya, Dalsim. That's so bad. Just for him, yeah. Like, yo, Satya Nadella, go back to Street Fighter, bastard. Go on. You can do the monkey dance. Come on, do it. I'll get one, do it. Come on, do it. Yeah. I'll get, if you're watching this, shame on you.
You POS. I need to get him on.
Mantica McDickens with a $20 super chat. KPG is one of the top pony bots.
Woo!
Pony bot.
Pony bot. Talk that shit.
Anyone who's using the word pony bot is mentally retarded. Anyway, KPG is one of the top pony bots. This guy, kind of like fast food scene in the movie Half Baked. Starting with Gaz, Asa, and Sean. You're cool. Then comes KPG pissing on positivity. Kick Ron.
There was a tweet before this, and I want to know the context. Somebody was like, Gaz, you got like, I forgot what it was. Like, you got like the most hardcore Xbox fan with the most balanced Xbox fan or something. And I'm like, I better be the balanced one, because I very much pride myself on that. Because I'm definitely an Xbox guy.
One, yeah,
because I love it, man. Like, I see people say like it's okay to be a pony. I'm like, I'm not. I love Xbox so much, and that's why I complain.
I'm with you, Samurai.
Come on.
Community, I'm with you. Gaz is the hardcore person, and that's what the guy was referring to.
I'm not into the console war bullshit. I hate it.
Me too.
God, you don't hate console war bullshit. What are you?
No. Hold on. I do like the spice.
The best performing video on your channel is a console warring video. Look at it.
Listen.
That was good.
Don't chat shit here, bro.
Come on.
I enjoy when some stuff happens. I hate the trash talking. I don't like the trash talking. But my favorite moment, I love the tweets. I love from PlayStation and Xbox themselves when the PlayStation State of Play happened, and then Xbox is like, oh, look at all these games coming. I was like, and then there was another one where it's like, I forgot, PlayStation did like, look at all the Yakuza games on sale, and Xbox is like, look at all the Yakuza games on Game Pass. I was like,
oh yeah,
I enjoy those, but I don't like everybody bickering at each other.
Yeah,
I don't like the bickering.
I love the bickering, bro. That's where the real source is. That's where
of course it is.
Real. That's where the real shit is. Where you talk that shit. That's what this real shit is. Let's talk about the games that they showed off. So the first game they showed off, which I think had a bit of a mixed response. I thought which was Avowed. They started off the show with Avowed, and Avowed looked more visually pleasing than the show
second
last
reveal.
year. Yeah,
I'd say
it was really
so.
good. I thought it looked really good. Combat looked a little bit stilted. Again, high fantasy, that kind of stuff isn't really my vibe, apart from WoW, that was a unique case. But it looked good. The water looked good. Some of the lighting and the textures looked good.
The environment looked really good when they were showcasing it. It looked
like some of
really
the
nice.
wooden,
And
the
I would
rocking.
say like this game, I don't really care for it, but it's Obsidian. And to see like where this game is at right now, I reckon this game will do really, really good. If anybody was a fan of Outer Worlds, I believe they'll be right on this straight away, no doubt.
Yeah, I think so.
If you like that game, you like this game. And to see the polish, the game looks really polished as it is. Seeing some of the character models, the dialogues, even some of the gameplay mechanics, the loadouts. You can switch between your weapons really quick if you want to do like Harry Potter shit, bow and arrow, just like Ellie, or the sword play. Who knows? So this game is looking really good. And if it does hit its date this year, this fall, I think a lot of people who like Outer Worlds and these type of games, it's another hit for them. It does look really good. It looks much better, polished, and I really do believe it's going to be a solid game for these guys.
I think it'll be a solid, good game, using a lot of character, and like it had that vibe as well. And I was pleasantly surprised by the facial animations of it.
It looked better than Starfield.
Oh shit! Don't say
some of the character models.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit! It looks, but Starfield is a different type of beast. So, but
Yeah.
Now, I will say, I think the animation is not as good as Starfield's animation.
yeah.
I thought the animation in Avowed was a little bit
Looks
off.
a bit-
That's literally like the only negative I have.
But you got to remember, this game is not coming out for another 8 months. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, I'm
tweak
sure they're
it.
doing the finishing touches on it. Hey, so what did you think of Avowed when you saw it? Looks pretty.
I'm really, really, really looking forward to Avowed. I think it's going to be a phenomenal game, and I love Obsidian, but that game doesn't show that well in a trailer. I don't think. They made not a mistake, because you've got to show it at some point, and people will say you were lying if you don't. But by showing all of the character dialogue and stuff, if you compare that to like a PlayStation cinematic trailer, comparisons are never going to be favorable when you look at like non-motion captured, the Starfield issue again kind of thing, watching these fairly wooden characters standing there talking to you. If you can set that aside though and consider what the game is and what it does well, it's not cinematics, so it's not a problem that it doesn't showcase that well. I think it's going to be an incredible game. The combat itself, not sure. Obsidian's combat traditionally, it looks like a step
the
up.
loadouts, like the switching between the loadouts, like the weapons and the magic wands, it seems like seamless, and that could be really. What do you think?
I don't know if I care about that. Like, it's not positive or negative for me, because when I look at a game like that, I think of the character that I want to make, and they're probably going to have a specific like vibe and way of fighting in a way. So being able to swap between guns and wands and swords, I'd probably rather decide whether I want it to be magical or melee. But that's not a criticism, because it might just work out really well in the game. It just also isn't something that I'm singing about. I think it's going to be like, I really, really like the studio. So the bit that I'm most enticed by is when they were talking about the moral grey areas and the choice and consequence. A lot of developers say that, but with Obsidian, you know that they do deliver that really well. So
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did talk, sorry guys, before you go, they did talk about like, the reason why I'm bringing up the loadouts, like the switching between the weapons, your wands, your sword, or your bow and arrow, is because you can fight in different ways. Like the style of it, like if someone's close to you, change it straight away instantly. If you fight from a distance, change it straight away. So when you're fighting against multiple enemies, you can switch on the go and fight in different style, distance, close up, combat. So I feel like it might work. If you can nail it, it will work in that type of scenario where you close, distance, or you want to take on multiple enemies. It probably will work, but let's see when the game comes out.
I'm not that worried about how well the game will do. I guess I don't think it'll have, you can just tell, like, it will have its crowd. I thought it looked good. Combat didn't wow me, but I thought it just looked decent. I thought it looked better than I thought it would based on last year's showing. So I think we're in good hands with Avowed. But let's see. I've been fooled before with Redfall, for instance, and the studio's pedigree.
Don't put them on the same level as that.
Yeah, no, exactly. But that's left a bitter taste in my mouth. So let's see. And Jimmy Andel with a $10 super chat, because the only game that looked rough was Avowed. His combat looked a little like a VR game, and they only showed the same area and enemies. Also, the colors of the game itself look flat. Now, I disagree with the colors bit, but I
disagree with the colors bit hard. Yeah.
Yeah, because the colors were quite vibrant. I thought they were really good. And I liked some of the, flatter kind of backgrounds, like the rocky ones. And then you had these colorful enemies. But I do agree the same enemies seem to be showing like the lizard pit things constantly. But this is a Obsidian game. You expect to have a lot more variety, right? The enemies, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Can I get my take on Avowed?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Sorry. I'm just chat is so messy. Can you stop fighting each other?
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah,
Let them fight.
Keep fighting.
FYI, this is my game of the show.
Oh, really?
But for kind of particular reasons, because so I particularly, and this will probably set the chat off hard, I was pretty disappointed with Starfield. And I still enjoyed Starfield, but it just wasn't exactly, I was really missing an RPG-like experience that I was spoiled. I was coming off of Mass Effect, playing the Mass Effect trilogy for the first time a couple of years ago. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then I got to Starfield and I was like, it's all right. I know what super chat you saw. And
you know me so well.
So I was like, when I was watching this, I haven't really played a fantasy RPG, like a true fantasy RPG. And so when I saw that dialogue, oh my God, first off, the way they read that dialogue, I thought was honestly super good. Asa brings up a good point about it's still that stiff body language or whatever. Hey, at least it's not, what? You have feelings for me? What are you saying? It's like I hate that like Bethesda center of cam thing. I like it when it's like this third person, like an actual scene is happening, and I was loving seeing that. The combat, I'm with Sean here with when they did the whole switching loadouts. I was like, that's literally something I've wanted to do in the past 4 RPGs I played. Yeah, like nice. I was really like, I couldn't believe that, and I'm really hoping it's exactly what they're saying. Dual wielding. I'm a fan of dual wielding, very much so. So when they did the dual wielding wands, I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And my main grievance is just the animations. I'm with you guys that the animations were really, they just did not seem finished. Like in comparison, even Starfield, I think the animations for Starfield are totally fine. But this one, it just seemed very stiff to me. Like the VR game that you just said, that was a good one. So I hope those get a bit improved. I think visually the game's fine. I think the choices, the choice making, I think that looks great. I think the dialogue sounds great. Like everything about them, and the colors, the environments, it looks great. I just really hope the animations improve, and then whoever made that key art get a raise.
Yo, that key art is lit.
That key art's fantastic.
That key
it's so
art
good.
is beautiful, man.
They need to make a Series X wrap or something for that shit.
Yeah, bro.
You guarantee you, any Obsidian fan out there, they're gonna get that as a tattoo. They're gonna get that.
That's a killer artwork, and I seen some other people kind of did their own type of tweak to it. It looked just perfect. Yeah,
and also I think this was my game of the show because this was the game that I needed to be sold on more. And that's why. It's like of every other game here, I'm like, oh, I know I'm going to be into this kind of a thing. Yeah. Or I just knew Ara History might not be for me. I had my like preconceived notions, but this was the one that I was like, I want to be a bit more on this. So maybe that's why it was my thing. But
yeah. I think everyone had their title they're looking forward to the most. And the reason why I gave it a 6 to 7 out of 10 is, one, we didn't get any solid dates apart from one game. Didn't get as much gameplay. And for this game, the second game that they showed off was Hellblade 2, which I'm really looking forward to. And Hellblade 2 got, little tiny bits of gameplay here and there. It looks beautiful. And I'm really looking forward to it. We had a couple of really cool announcements after the fact. Now, one thing that people are concerned about was the game length. This game is supposed to be as big as the first one, but I distinctively remember them saying shorter in those
first one.
Yeah,
I think he kind of
Hellblade.
First Hellblade.
Oh, sorry.
We're talking about
Yeah,
Hellblade
okay.
now. We moved on to
Sorry.
Hellblade.
I would say
I was looking
Gaz-
at a chat.
Yeah, like before you get the super, like I would say when he did say it's short, and I think he's kind of keeping expectations. Like a lot of like Andy Robertson, the media guys, when they're coming out, they were saying it's similar in length. So I think he was kind of keeping that. Like don't expect it to be a 20-hour game. I didn't expect it to be more than 10 to 12 hours personally. I thought it would have been slightly longer.
That's where I'm
but
at.
If it's the same, I'm fine with it. Like Hellblade is that type of game.
Yeah.
I'll stand my ground on this. Hellblade will be one of the most immersive game besides the VR bullshit. But I'm talking about when it comes to like TV. The direction they're going for this game is insane. From the gameplay design, I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it looks a bit stiff." No, that's realism. She is fighting for her life. Whenever she's taking on an enemy, she's just about getting through it. The animation when that dude jumps behind her and kind of bites her or licks her, what does she do? She's scared. She touches her neck like, "What's going on?" It's gonna be that intense. That game that when you play it with
have
your
to play this with
What did I
earphones,
say
man.
last
Like
week?
there's
What did I say last week about the combat and people coming from behind and you don't remember? But I was someone in the chat is saying, "Gas, come on, it's a $50 game." I never complained. In fact, the moment I was live streaming it, I said, "That's great. That's great." One, I've been a proponent for shorter games for ages. When people were giving Spider-Man 2 a lot of shit, I went out on Twitter and said, "That's good. We need shorter games. Not everything has to be a 50-hour game." And Asa, I was reminded of your sentiment regarding game pricing and game length, because one of the things you said, which was very poignant, was the fact that, in terms of pricing, having this baseline $70 price is wrong, because that will just invite developers to do or encourage developers to do is add a ton of bloat to try and justify that price, whereas you would like to see a little bit of a more dynamic pricing. And here we have Hellblade, despite this having so much on its shoulders, being the first game revealed with the Xbox Series X, this is going to be the visual masterpiece or whatnot. It has a shorter experience, which I'm absolutely fine with, and it also has a $50 price tag. So isn't this a positive sign in the vein of what you were thinking about, that where the industry should be heading?
There's like pricing is a massive can of worms to try and get into if you're talking about the industry at large. But you're right. I always say don't set this $70 price and try and build a game up to it. Scope a game, set a price that makes sense for that game and build it. And the thing that's always held the industry back from that is coupling that to physical prices. So like the PC space has always been better for it, because you distribute it on Steam, you can set a fair price according to what you made. But in the console space, where they've been supporting discs and discs and discs, it's always been like you have to have a certain level to cover the cost of distribution. Hellblade obviously isn't having a physical release, so it's been decoupled by default, and they can look at that game and price it what they think is fair. And the game itself, I'm glad that it's Hellblade length. They said the wording in the direct was that it was shorter, and they didn't really mention what they were referencing it's shorter than, but you'd assume it's contemporary games, like other things on the market that are costing them 70 quid. So it's shorter in that context, which is good, because Hellblade, and this is one of the things I was saying earlier about Microsoft, have clearly let their developers shoot for the tone that they want and the project that they want. And Ninja Theory have now made it very clear. They didn't make this clear early on, but they've now made it very clear that this is fitting the tone of the first Hellblade. I wouldn't want that to be a long game. Hellblade was hard to get through, so 8 hours, yes, that's going to be a slog in a good way. I'm not saying this is a negative, like how much I respect and revere what Hellblade did. Hellblade 2 is going to be, it's going to be hard to push through from the looks of things. So it's good to see that they've been upfront about what the project is. They did themselves no favors when they started talking about all their martial arts and weapons training and things like that. Set an expectation that combat was going to be like more of a focus this time, and from what we've seen of the snippets of gameplay, that's not really the case. I'm okay with that. I'm not sure
Well,
how widely well received it will be, but
they did say there's new gameplay mechanics to go for this game. And we haven't seen. I would have liked to see more for that game.
I alluded to them last week.
I would like to see.
You'll see some co-op, which I talked about last week, and you'll see this
100%.
element of people coming from behind, and they'll set off a set piece. I'm not just making that up. I just know it will have that stuff, which is what you saw half of it.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm talking about. Like, they talked about what they've done for this game, from the audio design to the gameplay to the graphics, the visuals, having enemies, like bigger enemies around you or companions with you. They're setting a bar for themselves. And obviously, if you watch the developer diaries, they said we can achieve like what it'll cost a developer $100 million, like a AAA. When people look at AAA, they think the graphics only. That's what people
Yeah.
think of automatically. They said we could do it with $50 million. That's what they said, to achieve that level of fidelity.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting this game to be one of them games, when you play it, you're going to be shook. You're going to be immersed in it. Like, every fight you're going to have is you're fighting for your life.
That's what they need to do. Yeah,
survival.
they really need
That's
to
what they
nail
said.
that.
No, they said that.
They said that in the direct. They said it. That
You got
every battle should
fight-
be like, yeah.
She isn't the fucking God of War. She ain't going
Yeah.
out and she's a beast or something, annihilating
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
No, she's just a normal human girl fighting people, each one by one, or wherever big enemies, struggling, taking people out, getting
Actually,
bitch
no,
slapped.
she's not. This is going to be like Fight Club. She really, everything is in her head, and she's just in the parking lot going.
And you see how brutal is it? Some of the animations.
It could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Wow, you could
That's what
just
it's
be
supposed
some
to be.
mad woman with a cat lady just swinging a cat in a
Oh,
car
God.
park.
But you see some of the animations, the
way
way she is brutal, putting the sword out through the guy's head, neck,
Yeah.
axe. So you're gonna see some, and even with the letterbox as well, it's gonna be intense. I think every battle you have, you're gonna be on your toes.
That's why I like
Do you know
about
what,
it.
guys? Trust me, get Dolby Atmos
Yeah,
headphones.
so they were
at
talking
least.
about the sounds quite a bit, and they were talking about what was it? Binaural like sound, and
shit
not just
like
the
that, yeah.
music, as well as like
It's all
you know,
together now.
they've really gone hard on the cinematic flair of this game. Like they were early on, like last year, they're talking about the lensing they were using for depth of field and bokeh as well. They're really trying to mimic cinematography techniques in developing it for this game, and it shows. Like this is not your typical gameplay kind of game. Like Asa says quite poignantly, and quite accurately, this isn't a game like enjoyment factor. It's like one of those movies like Requiem for a Dream or The Lighthouse. Have you seen those
Yeah.
movies? They're like, I watched The Lighthouse lately, and I just sat there. I was like, what the fuck? This is a oppressive experience, just sitting there. And it's like, what the fuck is this? But it lingered on, and it's a great movie. You don't enjoy it. You're just like in shock. And Hellblade is going for that, and that's why it's very artsy in that sense, and that's why Microsoft should get their flowers, one, for acquiring them, two, for funding them and enabling them to do what they want, which is deliver their ultimate experience, and then decouple the physical, get you this shorter length game at a smaller price. Like, this is the benefit right here of the consolidation from Microsoft of some of these studios that enable them to realize their vision. The result is right there in front of you. The diversity in all these studios, the support that enables them to do what they want, and there it is. The freedom is speaking for itself.
Let's not
Suck my
forget-
dick, Colin Moriarty, piece
Oh,
of shit.
shit.
It's a
Gotta say,
America,
hopefully
Samurai,
on
what you
that,
said.
right? Hopefully on that, because he's all every example is from before Microsoft's
Yeah.
acquisition, so they've allowed them to continue their visions. Hopefully, it carries on.
Yes.
And let's not forget, they allowed them to build a brand new studio. From the ground up.
Dude, I'm telling you. So I need to jump in on here because I haven't been able to
Let's
say.
go.
But like that closet, they made the first game in a freaking like spare room basically at their office. Now they have like this full blown mocap studio with the white walls and shit. It's insane. But this is my most anticipated game of 2024.
Yeah.
FYI. I love the first game,
think so.
and everything you guys said, I really do echo, and I think the hour debate, I do think maybe $40 might be more fair personally, but like that aside, if you have Game Pass and it's like, cool, just play with Game Pass. Maybe that's the enticement to get Game Pass. But and if it's short, you can get it done in a month. So but
You can get Game Pass and fucking cancel
play
that
it.
shit. Boom, that's it, done.
Exactly, or just enjoy other stuff for the rest of the month while you have it, whatever. But
It's crazy, Game Pass, man.
It's they showed the right amount to me because I was really worried because of what this is, and I was really hoping too it would be a short game. I didn't want this to be a like full-blown 30-hour Hellblade venture, because the joy of the first Hellblade is of just you experiencing this journey of Senua, and there's no fluff in it, there's no filler. If anything, the puzzles sometimes made it like it took you out of it, and I really hope they improve on that. They gave a slight tease of that being like Senua sees things in different ways than everybody else does, and it's like, okay, so that's probably what the puzzles are going to be. And I hope those are improved compared to the first game. The combat, I personally was fine with in the first game, but the combat in this looks very brutal and and like the
In your
first
face,
game, it'll
in your
probably
face, yeah.
in your face, yeah, and they'll probably like the first game. I love this that the difficulty constantly adjusted to you.
I love that. I love that.
That was
feature.
so cool. So it just always kept it just challenging. Like it's never going to be too easy or hard, kind of a thing. And that was
I
perfect.
feel like a lot of games should adopt that feature.
They should totally do that. I love that. So yeah, and just the visuals are stunning, and I do see some people in the chat saying, you know, like 6 years. Some were saying 7, but however long, you know, 5 or 7 years to make an 8-hour experience, and that's fair. I think that is fair, but like.
That's a fair point.
I don't know.
It's fair, but
a very
unfair
fair
as
point,
well. It's unfair, that is, because that studio got built from the ground up in like 2020, 2021, completely.
Ooh, Ninja Theory, I mean.
Yeah.
Well, it existed
brand
for
new
like
studio.
the past 10 years before they got acquired.
No, they built a new studio. That's what the mocap
But, maybe
came for.
transferring to the new studio, sure.
Yeah. So that's what
But
kind of
still,
started.
the ultimate end result is Ninja Theory did take a long time to make a pretty brief experience. But it just
But
adds a little
maybe
bit more
it's
impetus
the
for them to do it
method
well.
of
The
the
mocap.
experience. Like the goal of this whole thing is this isn't. It's kind of like what I tell people with Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't tell people Microsoft Flight Simulator is a game. I call that an experience. Like if you play that, you are playing this simulation, learning how to fly, experiencing the world. It doesn't really have much game to it. And I feel like that's what Senua is supposed to be. Hellblade 2 is kind of like this experience that you have that isn't really a video game. Like, yeah, you'll fight. Yeah, you'll have puzzles, but it's not supposed to feel like that. And I think that's what they're trying to do and immerse the player. So
It's
I
the
hope
challenge in
they
their head,
really
yeah.
knock it out, man. I really do.
I feel like
I'm
they will.
looking forward to it.
I feel like
I'm going
they
to
will.
block that day out, by the way. I'm May 21st. I'm taking that day off. I don't want to
What
see
day is
a
that?
single. I don't want. It's a Tuesday. I'm pissed
Tuesday.
at that. That's stupid.
Shout out
but
to Cole Eastwood for getting that.
Yes, he did.
Saying that. Everyone gave
But
him
I'm taking that
shit.
day off, man. I don't want to see a shred of a spoiler. I want to just turn the lights off, headphones, experience that whole thing, and then maybe play it again the weekend after that.
Yeah,
That's the joy. If it's short, you can just experience it again if you want.
yeah, absolutely.
That's what I did with
It is-
Inside. Inside's short, and I'm like, oh, I'm playing through that shit
Inside.
right away again.
I loved Inside.
You know,
Inside is
short games are
a
replayable.
masterpiece.
Short games also tend to have, because you tend to like.
The impact they have. You know, that
Because you
short
get to-
4-hour
yeah.
impact
Yeah.
to be like, what did I play? Like Inside, prime example.
Yeah.
When I completed Inside like what, 4 hours max, first time
Yeah.
playing it or something. He's like, at the end of the scene, what happens at the end? He's like, what the
Fuck, this turned
like,
into Akira. What is going on? Yeah, like-
turned into like Mr. Blob or some shit, but like it's showing you like that. Obviously, I don't want to spoil it because you kind of free the person, but like you know what I mean. At the end, when it frees itself, incredible. Inside is what it's a masterpiece, and this is what you want. You want them kind of experiences that you blown away. Like you put the controller down, like, yo, what the hell did I just play, or what happened at the end? Like, wow.
Somebody
that's
brought
the
up a
beauty
really
of
good
the
point in the chat where they were saying, like, you know, when this really started to kick into development, that's when COVID happened. So they really struggled to do mocap. Very fair point.
That's facts.
Very fair point.
Yeah. I mean, as you
Because this
were
game is
talking
relying
about-
on mocap, you know, like with the way they're doing it.
Well, let me
We're from
read
the
this.
UK as well. Like me, Gaz, and Asa from the UK, and the lockdown
Yes.
was some serious shit.
Yeah, they're in Cambridge, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
I think the studio's in Cambridge. Yeah, so Mandick McThickens with a $10 super chat says, Kibiji is the dude at the strip clubs deeply staring at the dude getting the lap dance, ruining the whole experience. He's the reason why I only do VIP. I'm in the back, pointing north, up and away. What the fuck is that?
Shout out to my brother Mandingo McTickens out there. Talk that shit, Playboy. Shout out to the homies in the
a
chat.
man of culture.
He's a funny guy. Honestly, his super
I
chats
was
are
doing my
hilarious,
best.
bro.
I saw that
I-
before all of you. When I saw that, I was doing my best to not die.
Oh, that's
That was-
normal for me. That's normal.
I'm
You want to
just-
super chats me like that.
That's why
I
when you started
imagine-
laughing, I'm like, I know what you saw. I know what you saw.
I'm imagining now just be in a strip club and just Kibiji across the freaking room, just like staring at me, just like, yo, man, the fuck? Let me enjoy this blue ball situation. Thank you, Mandigo, for that amazing super chat. No, so like Hellblade, like a lot of people cried about the length. I don't agree with it, and for the same reasons. And because of you get to experience that in one sitting from start to finish. It has more of a chance to leave an impact and leaving an impression. So
Yeah.
I thought 5 hours, I could stream that and enjoy that with. I don't know if there's a game worth streaming because of people in chat like, or spoilers or whatnot. It's a game I can just get engrossed in and enjoy. And those have been some of my best gaming experiences where I've just powered through a campaign as such. So I'm looking forward to it. I think that was, but it annoyed me how little they showed. But at the same time, the game was such a brief experience. They probably don't want to show half of it. Like,
let's not
like
forget,
technically, they've already showed like a tenth of it, kind of a thing. Well, close to. Yeah.
I also like surprises, so it's like
when it comes to like showcasing this game, it's like they're showing the small details, like the details. Like for example, like Red Dead Redemption 2. I remember people complaining, "Why is he getting off the horse like that? Why is he cutting this fish or cutting like the bear up with, like the way he does it? There's no need for that. It's a game." Nah, that's the detail we're talking about. I feel like when it comes to Hellblade, they're showcasing the detail, what they're going from the audio, gameplay, going to Iceland, scanning in 1218K, whatever you want to call it, and putting that into the game. That's what they're showing, and I feel like they're just gonna nail in every department.
This is a passion project, and you can tell they're pouring a lot of love into it. It's
the audio. I can't wait for the audio.
Oh, the audio is going to be incredible. The audio-visual experience is going to be very incredible. And you're not going to get games like this. You don't get games of this caliber, of this kind of quality funneled through like this. I hope to see more of it like this pedigree, but that's why this is quite a special game. Shout out to Evan in the chat, by the way. Evan Huff.
Shout out to him.
He's been in hospital. He's been through a lot. Just hit the heart button. That's on chat now, and send some love.
Chin up, bro. Chin up, man. Evan, chin up, man.
He's a soldier, man. He's like still being positive despite going through some crazy shit. So, shout out to him, man. I hope you got your Xbox delivered to the hospital as well. So after Hellblade, then we got that little surprise. Why did we do that together like that? We did. We got fucking Square Enix came out of nowhere, and
did anybody ever, like anybody on the internet, everybody watching, did anybody call this?
Actually, shout out to Special Nick knew about it. Yeah, he knew about it. He actually, while it was live streaming, put a little post-it up there saying, whatever Mana is going, Tears of Mana, whatever the frick is called, is going to be the next game. I've never played a Mana game.
Shit.
You never played it on the Nintendo back in the days?
No,
is that the same type of game?
I never played it.
I've never played those games. It looked really nice though. It looked really good.
If it's the same type of, I played it back in the Nintendo days, bro. If it is the same type of Mana, because that was called Secret of Mana.
There were loads of Mana games. I know about that.
And that game was expensive. Look it up. That game's like £200.
And like, admittedly, I don't know if I have, because I think it's super cool that this is like the first Mana game coming to Xbox. Admittedly, I don't think I have too much to say about the game itself, more so just the thing it being in this show I have more to say about. But I mean, the game looked cool. Like, I don't know, it's one of those things. It's like, cool, I can't wait to play it on gameplay.
It looks really nice. It looks really nice.
It looks polished. I know some people are saying Samurai, you were just talking about it. It's not a first party, but Phil did, I think it was last week, to the Xbox platform, and that's the challenge, like, to see what's happening with Sega games, Yakuza games, now you get the Persona games. They're announcing Yakuza games on the Xbox game showcases or events. Yeah. And I think that's the plan for, like, Phil Spencer said about, like, they want to bring Square Enix games and announce, like, Square Enix games on the Xbox platform, and this is, like, kind of showing, like, good faith, like, listen, let me showcase your game on the Xbox Developer Direct, and this is what you mean to us. It's really important that we want these type of games, and we will support you. And this is the partnership that can extend even further, bring more games. I think that's what it was, because it is like a partnership they made last year as well. So,
but how
it was specifically in July last year, July at the Final Fantasy 14 celebration event. That's where it happened, because I remember that, and it was a significant moment. It wasn't just about Final Fantasy 14.
And he flew out there. He had to go out there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he just did, and the CEO of Square, the new CEO, by the way, he's like totally brand new when this happened. I think he was like a month in. He's like, first act of business, we're gonna work with Xbox. And I'm like, oh my god, the CEO knows what's up. And Phil was like, yes, absolutely. like I'll go over there. Like, let's do it. And so like, because that's what we've wanted. Like Square Enix just keeps feeding PlayStation, and so that's what I mean. I'm not objecting that. I just question if this was the place to do it. Like I saw people say, like, why not at the showcase? Why not an early year partner preview like they did at the end of last year? Like there's all these other ways they could have did it, and it just changed what the developer direct is for I don't even want to say for me, but it for a fact changed what could be at the developer direct, this being there. So and I'm just going to accept that. I'm just going to accept that we might get a surprise third-party guest here.
You never know. Like Samurai, they could become first party. Who knows in the future?
And I was, and see, that was the thing. Like I see some people teasing, like,
I'm messing about. I'm messing about.
Yeah, prepping, and I'm like,
never say never. No. None of us actually believe that ABK would have happened. None of us would have believed that. So never say never.
ABK was a crazy one, anyways. It's still
ABK
crazy.
was funnier, but because I was talking to Tim Dog. In November, he goes, for some reason, he goes, something's going on in 2021 or something, wherever the year was. He goes, something's going on. He goes, Phil Spencer and the team is working over Christmas. He goes, normally they'd be home chilling. He goes, something big is happening. And obviously, like 4 or 5 weeks later, they announced ABK, man.
Is it? Oh shit! Yeah. Like he's probably mates with them, so you know.
He didn't know about ABK. He just felt like they're working. Why are they working over Christmas? They never work over Christmas time, but they were working like long days, late nights. And Phil's gaming nonstop. Midnight. Yeah. And Tim goes, something's going on. I'm not sure what it is. Like I said, later on, ABK announcement. So, but getting back to the direct is dope.
Yeah, no. I mean, this game, Asa. I wonder. Because they didn't show Game Pass at the end of it. Do you think this game, like in my opinion, through the years of Xbox forging whatever kind of identity it has, and Sony in many ways, and its exclusionary practices, almost making it the case that JRPGs only find an audience on PlayStation and Nintendo. I question whether this game will actually even sell on Xbox. Do you think this will find its audience on Xbox? Or
no, I don't think it will. One? Like, there's an audience for it. Miles is always going on about the Mana series. I haven't played it since the Super Nintendo. I played it there. I look at it now. It's obviously got a lot in common art style-wise with the Dragon Quest games. Which also, like, I don't think they made a massive splash on the Xbox, but Xbox were very keen to showcase and highlight that they had them, because it is a big IP, and they're obviously trying in that regard. For this to be in the developer direct, Square Enix have a lot of power in this negotiation at the moment, I would say, because Microsoft clearly, like, it's a big deal to put a game like this where they put it. It's a big spotlight for a game that you wouldn't expect to do that well on the Xbox by default. So they're trying very, very hard to make nice with Square Enix. And in the end, like, I wasn't massively interested in that section of it. I enjoyed watching the costumes that the actual people were wearing more so than the characters in the game. But it speaks to Xbox trying, so we all benefit from it in the end, I hope.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like, guys, I'm not sure if you seen it after the direct, and they said, like Tom Warren goes, he expects that game to be in Game Pass. Like, it'll be announced later. So, unless he knows something, because obviously he's media, so I'm not sure. Maybe at a later date, some showcase, they might announce it there. Who knows? But
I think that to me would have really took it home, because there wasn't really, like, if it was that's why I was live reacting to this too, and I saw my chat blow up like, oh, they're gonna see it's on Game Pass. Oh my god, they're gonna see it's and no,
no, that's the thing. I think. If it, I don't know if I'll buy this game. I doubt I will. I've never played these Mana games, but if it's on Game Pass, that's the best chance of like diverting attention, Xbox people's eyes to this game.
Just the same with
the Yakuza games. It did look okay, like game for the game's sake, ignoring the Game Pass thing and whether or not Xbox people are likely to play it.
It does look good.
The combat looked alright.
It has its audience. Yeah. I will say, here's a question I'll say, because I do like, as much as people want to think that I'm a quote unquote pony bot, whatever. What I do really like about this is, if they keep this cadence, I hope this is a cadence that sticks. I'm sad about, it not being first party going forward 100%. But what I do love is if they keep this cadence of a mystery fifth identity. I love that. I think that's
nice.
awesome. And always put it smack dab in the middle, because then that way it's like, our first half, exactly our expectation set. Our back half, exactly our expectation set. But in the middle, let's just throw you a little interesting nugget and see if you like it or not, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And I love that. I think that's a great idea to kind of just make people, that's the speculation part. Like, what could be that mystery fifth nugget? I think that's really fun. So I hope they keep doing that. That's cool.
I mean, yeah, exactly. In the absence of a shadow drop, like everyone's like shadow. That kind of takes away the bluster. But doing a surprise like this, an announcement, is really good. I don't mind the fact that it's not first party and they mixed it with developer direct. I thought it was really cool. It was just nice to see, and I think this signals something quite significant. We talked about earlier with Special Nick talking about Final Fantasy 16 potentially coming to Xbox very soon. I think that would be quite significant as well. And I don't think this is just an incidental game release and, from Square coming to Xbox. I think this is a sign. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think this is the case. I think this is a sign of Xbox going really hard with Japan, taking it seriously with Square Enix and showing all that goodwill.
They produced this documentary for them, man.
Yeah, absolutely, they did. And then not only that, they worked really
They're marketing their game for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're right.
And they went to Final Fantasy 14 to make that work on Xbox. They had whole teams really show that goodwill and intent. Then you've got Mina Kato, I think her name is, the ex-PlayStation heavyweight.
Yeah, yep.
She joins Xbox, and then she's going out there telling everyone, you need to pay attention to Xbox. Obviously, that's her job. That's what she's being paid to do. But
maybe she was the one that was like, hey, guys, let's do this for the developer direct.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And that's what you need. Like, it may not sell well on Xbox, but you have to change the perception. And it's been years of practices that have either excluded Xbox or Xbox has been anemic and whatever in approaching that region. But now, let them try. I don't expect it to sell well, but if it's on Game Pass, you will then get the best chance of this doing well. Like if it's on Game Pass, getting player engagement numbers will be high. You're changing the culture of like people and showing the exposure. And you want people in Japan to take notice as well. Like, okay, hold on. The Visions of Mana is actually, I can play it for the subscription cost along with XXX game on Xbox now, because Xbox has Yakuza, Xbox has Persona 3 as well there. All the Persona games.
The Japan games.
And Sega's games are coming, and watch this space. That Sega suite of games that you're talking about, like Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi and whatever, Golden Axe and all of that. Expect. I'm not an insider knowledge. I'm just imagining, owing to the strong relationship between Xbox and Sega, expect those games to be appearing, some of those games, or at least one of those games to appear on Game Pass day and day. I just feel like that's going to be the case. I would say
this, guys.
I don't know. I just feel like that's the way they will work. It makes sense.
And them games look dope. They look really good when they showcased it on the Game Awards. I would say this, prime example, Yakuza games, when they came into Game Pass when they announced in 2019, I think I was at EXO, they announced it there or something. I remember like, let me just try this game. As soon as I tried the first Yakuza 0, I fell in love with it, the series.
Yeah.
What happened? When Lost Judgment came out, day one. That's what happens when you fall in love with this game. When the sequel comes out, you buy the game day one. Lost Judgment and Judgment, I was there day one straight away. Got them straight away. And that's what it does.
Yeah.
Gives you a chance that these games have never ever been on the platform before for decades. And when they come and people play them, these are dope games. Let me see what's going on here. Or there's a new Yakuza game coming out next year. I'm there day one. And that was me. Lost Judgment, day one. Judgment, day one. I was there.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's what it does.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Microsoft really start hopefully improving its marketing as well, you're going to see a lot more of that. So let's see. That's a good surprise. I don't think there's much to add to that. Really, so it's really good. Another super chat for KBG. Shout out to Champagne Supernova with a $5 Australian. He goes, KBG, I'm about to get a 10-minute private. Do you want in? Have a good show, boys. Thoughts and prayers to the folks that suffer from motion sickness. We're going to get to talk that shit, Champagne. The next game, I guess, will be a brief chat, unless we really care about 4X, which is the name that I just discovered last week, as Asa told me. Asa, for Ara History Untold, or whatever it's called. It was shown. It's not my kind of game. I imagine I concede that. Concede means I was against it, but I recognize that it looks very impressive for a 4X game. Just looks like a lot of passion in there, especially in the Cougars. But what did you think of this? You said last week that you were looking forward to playing this game. Were you impressed with what they showed off?
I don't know, because I don't have much experience with 4X games, except that I know that I want to get into one and see if I enjoy it. Ara History Untold is obviously a very grounded one. It's trying to mimic alternate history, like real history though, as opposed to something like Age of Wonders, which is more mythology. And I think personally I probably lean more towards Age of Wonders, but Ara History Untold looks like it's a very competent 4X. I still don't really know what the X's are. I'm pretty sure it's explore, explode, explode, and exploding. And I'm going to have access to this. This one's going to be on Game Pass. Age of Wonders isn't, so I'm going to discover if I enjoy 4Xs or not.
Yeah, not fair enough. Again, it speaks to the diversity of games available on Game Pass. On PC Game Pass, this is not on Xbox.
I was about to say, does that affect anybody, you think? Because I noticed that I'm like, oh, it's a PC only Game Pass.
You look at it, it's a PC game. I'll be honest with you. I look at it, I'm like, yeah, whatever, and move along. But for PC gamers,
I try to avoid it, man. I'm here all the time, and I don't want to spend more time here than I have to.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll do fine for PC. There's a reason why it's on PC Game Pass, because that's the audience there. If it comes to the console later when it gets ported, who knows? That could be 6 months, 12 months, who knows? But it's coming day one on PC, like what Asa just mentioned. I will play it there, and if I like it, I'm there. But a lot of people looking on like Twitter and like listening to some like podcasts, they said this game is looking promising, and maybe it's one of the next big games coming on PC. So let's see how that plays out. But it's not a game for me.
Yeah, it's not for me either. But I can respect it. I can respect, like I did with Civilization 2. It just looks really like how far we've come with the visuals of it. Astound me. They were talking about different leaders and stuff and how that affects.
It does look clean though, compared to that
very clean.
type of. Yeah, it looks very clean.
It looks really clean. I think so. Yeah,
I'll give it that.
What is video? So video game adaptation news has a good question. What's 4X mean? Does anybody here know? Does anybody?
We have no idea.
Yes, explore, explode, explode, and exploding. It's like explore, expand. I can't remember. There are things along those lines. Pete knows. If he's there, he'll tell us again. I should know by now.
I think this was the game that a lot of people like going.
All right, that is, yeah.
Thank you, Die Hard.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people going into this direct knew this would be kind of the game that we'd all be like, all right, I don't want to say filler, but like let's just see what they have to say and then keep going.
Yeah, not every game is for everyone, but yeah,
exactly. And there's gonna be, and I think this is a game that does work best on PC. Personally, it's made for it literally, and I do think it looks like basically every game in this, maybe to me other than Avowed, like every game here looked very polished, and I think this game is one of those things. Had the most, in my opinion, fun documentary side of things. They definitely had the most little bits, the cougars and the guy walking in the background just going like, okay, we started that way. Like they definitely had the most fun with their little bit. And I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I do admit I think this was the one that I was really predicting would be like a February release or something, and when I saw it was, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. But it looks neat, for whoever wants it. But yeah, I do think it's cool, however, that you play as like different leaders, that each of the leaders have like different things that you like want to specialize in or something. And I could imagine that playing into a lot of different kinds of ways you want to go about I'm just going to call it civilization. So that's neat, but I don't imagine myself ever touching this one.
Yeah. Champagne Supernova, thank you for the $5 Australia. Goes, port an older Mana game on Game Pass. Give us a taste, then show Square we buy on Xbox. Homeboy needs to pay for that sweet leather trench. That leather jacket was beast. It looked jokes. Timothy Heatland with a $10 super chat, answering our question. 4X actually is an abbreviation of explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate. Which is what I was hoping Microsoft's strategy with Xbox was going to be.
If I can just comment off of that, I think that's the one thing that did grab me, is that when they said you can I don't know what they mean by win the game. I'm really curious what I don't even know what that means exactly. But like when they said you could win it in so many different ways, like whether you're just conquering or if you're building this thing or if you're relying on your arts and architecture. I love that idea. I love that idea of just leaning into something, and that's how you win. You don't have to be doing everything. So I thought that was cool. And that 4X abbreviation, like that kind of goes with what they were saying.
Yeah, it does. It looks really good. Just again, not for us, but yeah. Shout out to the PC players who get to play this. We'll see. Last, but certainly not least, and for me, despite Hellblade being the game I'm most looking forward to, this was the highlight of the show. I think for a lot of people, we finally got to see Indiana Jones. Before I was like, please don't be first person. I wanted it to be third person. I want to be third person. And then I see it, my initial gut reaction instantly was like, oh, for God's sake, what the
Me too. My reaction, I was like, no. But listen, but guys, listen, are you actually, well you're sorry, you keep going.
Well, I'll go into your takes actually. As I was complaining, they're crying about it, the gameplay's running in the background. I'm like, oh, the music's there, the vibes there, the characters' delivery, the story, the antagonist looks interesting, a bit like Greg Miller, but which is
like
he's not that interesting, but for some reason they made him look interesting. It just, the game won me over because I was like, oh, this is another example of what Asa was suggesting earlier, that these teams have a set vision. It's like Microsoft hasn't gone in and really been invasive and mandated that the game has to play a certain way. Yes, it's first person. Yes, because it's Machine Games of Wolfenstein fame. But I thought it showed off really well. And like, I'm very excited. I really want to play this. I'm not any big Indiana Jones. It's a classic movie. I love the childhood. When I think of that, I remember the Kalima scene and the freaking monkeys with the monkey soup with a head. That scarred me for years. But
classic.
This game is just, even the puzzles, like it look like they're really good visually. A lot of people like comparing it to Uncharted 4, which is an indication of what they wanted to do if it was third person. But I thought it looked good enough. I thought it looked really, like, it's not mind-blowing at all visually, but it just looked great. Just had a lot of character. So but this game's a bit divisive, apart from the fact that apparently some people get sudden bouts of motion sickness with first-person games. Etc. was full of people complaining about this shit.
What is this joke? Because I'm totally missing. It's going
come
over
on, somebody! You seen the shit? You've been on Twitter.
I'm assuming this was like a Twitter thing. I wasn't paying attention.
I would say this on the 18th of this month. All of a sudden, when Indiana Jones came out and they announced it's a mix of both, but mainly first person, all of a sudden, these ponies, yes, I'm calling them ponies right now, we're going to talk that shit. They came out and said, right, I hate it. Why is Indiana Jones first person? Do you know what? Since it's a first person game, I get motion sickness and I can't play first-person games. That was on the 18, but you pieces of shit, you were capping for that dog shit. PlayStation 2 VR. Do you not get motion sickness over that shit? You POSs. We know exactly what's going down. I know, Asa, you love the VR bullshit, but I'll leave you there, bro. But these guys, on the 18th, they were capping for this shit. Last year, the PlayStation VR 2 is the best thing since sliced bread. All of a sudden, I don't like first-person game. I guess motion sickness. Come on, guys.
I'm the kumbaya person here, but it's a real thing. People have a hard time playing first-person stuff.
Sometimes we don't want to hear that.
Listen. I told you guys my favorite game franchise is Halo. I told you my favorite game franchise is Halo. I have a community that whenever I try to stream Halo to them, they're like, I can't watch, man. It's making me motion sick. I'm like, fuck. Kind of a thing. I've dealt with it. I've dealt with fans that are like, I can't watch this because it's hard.
Samurai, no. It started on the 18th. The same guys that love first-person games, love PlayStation VR 2. All of a sudden, because this game is exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem.
If it's one person
multiple people, multiple ponies in reset era talking about.
I'm not hopping on this one, but I get what you're saying.
I'm not hopping on this. I
get what you're saying.
Let's have a time.
But
It was Resetra. Resetra is a toilet, and Resetra's a toilet full of PlayStation fanboys. And of course, you see the kind of shit you see there is hilarious. So the motion sickness, obviously, is a lot about trolling. And there are definitely people who have motion sickness. Erica's for the win. She definitely suffers from motion sickness. She's said that for years, actually.
Does she?
She's said that for a while. I know. I remember her saying that.
Because it's a first-person game, that's why.
Yeah, because she doesn't play first-person games.
Oh, why was she playing the finals for 4 hours straight?
Who?
Erica.
Was she playing for the finals? Erica, I can't help it! Oh, shit! Shit, Erica! What the fuck? Oh, what finals? No, shit! That game is just definitively first person. What's the difference between me and you? I don't tell shit about first-person games. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Erica, I love you. The
love is there, but listen, you're playing that shit for 4 hours, and all of a sudden, motion sickness.
I'm playing, Erica. I'm playing.
Anyhow, though.
She was on my case because she was like, where are the receipts of the same people who said they like PSVR 2 and they get motion sickness? So I was like, yo, fucking troll it. Just let us have fun with these people just crying about it. But motion sickness is a real thing. That's fine. But condolences. But let's talk about the game.
To hop on like what you were saying before, though, to get us back here, the freaking when you said, I forgot, you said a certain thing that I was like spot on. Somebody in the chat said it. This game, even though I'm somebody, I wanted it to be third person. I favor first person most of the time. I love first person games. I just said favorite franchise is Halo, and I love in the finals lately. And in Starfield, I would go first person if it was close quarters, but most of the time I'd maybe switch to third. I'd go back and forth. And so I like that this indie game did that. I like that, like, okay, we're gonna make it first person, but at least every now and then we're gonna give you a little sequence. I'm like, okay, at least I have that. But I wanted it third person just because I love seeing Indy. Like, it's like you play Spider-Man. You could be going first person swinging around New York, totally. But just seeing you be Spider-Man swinging around New York, there's something about that that's cool. And I'm sure the chat's going to go freaking, bringing up a PlayStation game, what the fuck? Yeah, sure, whatever. But just seeing Indy the same way, like seeing Indy go on this adventure and controlling him would be so cool to me. And I also think it'd be great because we have Hellblade 2 coming up, but just I feel like it'd be nice to help balance out what Xbox has, because we have so many first persons with Xbox. I'd love if they just added that to the repertoire. But the second I saw it, I bitched. I did. But I totally get it. It's machine games. It's what they do best, and you get to live the adventure. And with how much they're going back and forth in the cutscenes, I'm sure it's going to be a great balance. And the way they crafted this, it looks so. Somebody said this earlier. It looks like fans made this game. This feels like a literal Indiana
100%.
Jones game, like an actual movie that is a game, and it's taking place in the most iconic era, being the first 3 movies. And I love that. It just feels so. There's so much care that went into this, and I love that. And the music, I love that they say like we need to hit that John Williams score. So we have, I forget the name they said, but he's trying to replicate that. Yes, please have that John Williams like score to make it feel like we're on this grandiose adventure. So we'll see, man. But it looked great.
They nailed it. But one of the most important thing was Harrison Ford likeness. Yeah, that's what they needed.
Dude,
everybody understands when people talk about Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford. But let
me ask you this: did it need to be exactly like Harrison?
Yes. The reason why, because he's the only one that's played it. He's the one that's played this game on the character for the past 40 years. Besides the TV shows, he's the one. Now you got to take a look at this. A lot of these superhero games, like just imagine if Tom Holland was Spider-Man. And Tom Holland was Nathan Drake. Sure. That would be Stu.
Yeah, but I get what you mean. Yeah.
It's been a long time since a proper actor has been put into a game. Avengers, totally different characters. If that was Robert Downey Jr., it'll hit different.
Yeah, it would have hit.
This is one of the games in a decade or so that is actually the actors playing Indiana Jones. And that's what everybody's talking about. Even guys who do movie reviews, they said they want to play this on. Why isn't it coming to the PlayStation 5? I'm sure you've seen that clip, guys. When I don't know if I sent it to you. The reason why they're talking about this game, because it's Harrison Ford. He's a well-known actor, and he's in this game. And shout out to Troy Baker. Even though people start hating on Troy Baker, the same day, I'm sure you've seen the receipts, they said Troy Baker's overrated. The same
Troy Baker
day.
is in everything, though. That's a valid
But he's not
point.
overrated. He sounded
I'm not
good.
saying he's overrated.
But listen, could you tell that was Troy at all?
No,
I couldn't
honestly,
tell whatsoever.
I felt like,
tell.
do you know, that was close enough. He's done a great job so far.
It was really good.
And it was funny though, when I looked at the receipts, I got the receipts. You know that. Troy Baker's overrated. He shouldn't be playing this role. He's useless. Get out of here. He's a scumbag. He betrayed us. You know, all of them tweets come out. But they nailed it.
Betrayed.
You know, I got the receipts, bro.
I mean, really? People got mad that Troy Baker betrayed them?
I got
Really?
100 bro, I got the receipts, bro.
Oh,
I'll show you
shit.
later. I'll send it to you
I
later.
couldn't. When they said it was Troy Baker, I was like, "Really?"
Yeah, that's
I couldn't hear his voice at all.
I didn't even know that.
I'm like, so where I was with this whole debate, because that's what I was asking my chat, is like, does it have to look like Harrison? And I know you shared your opinion, but I was asking everybody, I'm like, does it have to look like Harrison though? And I was leaning into the category of like, I want it to resemble the character that is Indy. That's it. I don't define Indy as Harrison Ford. I define Indy as this rugged man that's like an architect that's going on this adventure. And it's like,
Nah,
I just wanted him to, I needed for him to resemble Harrison Ford, but I definitely don't. And that's, to me, I got exactly what I wanted. And it sounds like we all did with just different interpretations. I don't think he looks spot on like Harrison Ford. Me personally, I think he looks like a great interpretation of Harrison Ford. That's what I wanted. And to me, that's what it looks like to me. And I love that. It sounds a bit like him. It looks very much like him. It's just like, it's such a good
They even got the
recreation
scars as well.
of
Have you seen the detail
character.
in the scars as well?
Yeah. And that's Indy though. That's the character of Indiana Jones. And I think they did such a good job making that character instead of like, you get what I mean. Yeah, it just didn't feel like Harrison Ford to me. It felt like who Indiana Jones is rather. But I guess they're one and the same. But whatever.
I felt like when they were showing up this game, from the music, from the characters, even like Tony Todd's in it as well, one of the enemies or whoever he is, whoever character is gonna play. It felt like they nailed it. It felt like I'm watching like an Indiana Jones
like
trailer.
a movie. Yeah,
Like a movie trailer.
It felt like that.
Like the music, even the
did,
character, the mannerisms as well. Like when he's talking, discovering like the puzzles and the paper, I felt like they nailed it. And that's what, like you just talked about the team. You can see the passion in the team. Like this is a game they want to make.
I think they're the best team that they've made it.
Yeah, and you can see they put it into
Todd Howard had a vision as well. Apparently, Todd Howard got involved because he had a very specific vision for this game.
And I feel like that's what you need, guys. If you got something that's in the works for like 10, 15 years and he wanted to do this like a decade ago, 2 decades ago, I'm glad he's getting a chance. And I'm glad that the Machine Game is doing the game. Making the game the way they want to make the game. Majority of it is first person with obviously it pulls back in cinematics and obviously let the mocap do the rest. I'm fine with that. I would have preferred the opposite, but end of the day, this is the team. This is the game they want to make. And I'm not sure if you guys listened to a podcast earlier this week. They said Indy doesn't shoot like a lot of guns, basically, unless he's on a plane or something. They were saying, I'm really hoping it doesn't be like he pulls out a machine gun, killing people, but the way they're showing the game, using the whip, a small gun here and there, and I feel like
he throws a hammer or a shovel.
Just little things like which is funny,
melee.
comedy in it as well. So I feel like they'll nail it, and hopefully it does release. I'm hoping it release like August time, maybe July, August, like a summer type of movie blockbuster game. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah,
but good job for them. First time seeing the game, and we didn't expect this game to come out this year.
Really good first showing. I have to say, also like not only getting a trailer, because that's what we normally get for any game we get revealed, but getting a game revealed with this kind of a showing is super cool. Like getting the deep dive and everything. Yeah.
No, it really was. It looked really, really impressive. Shout out to 650 people. We had a 700 plus at one point. Smash that like button if you're enjoying the things. Asa, what did you think of it? Are you an indie fan or were you impressed with this?
Oh, you've forgotten last week when I said very specifically I'm not particularly an indie fan. And I questioned last week whether indie fans are a real thing or whether it's actually Harrison Ford that people like. Because whenever you've heard about Indiana Jones, it's always been Harrison Ford that they actually cared about. So that kind of speaks to what Kibaji was saying. I think it was really important, or they've done very much the right thing in what they're doing in capturing him. I also said that I was not concerned, but unenthused, because I didn't particularly like Uncharted. So if they were going to try and make a game like Uncharted,
you did say that.
I wasn't that bothered to see that. I'd check it out. I'd probably end up playing it. I played all of the Uncharted games, but they're not my favorite kind of game by any stretch. So when they came out and showed what they showed, and the bit that really caught my eye, there's the musical score, but also when they showed the motion capture of the cheesy stunts, people falling off of things and stuff, I was like, oh shit, no, they've nailed it. This is spot on, like authentic Indiana Jones. They've gone that full extra mile to capture the way that the movies were and the things that people love about them. And actually, I'm really I was well impressed by it.
Nice.
I know some people don't like the character models and look plastic and all the rest of it, and there's fair criticism. Like if you are going to hold it up against certain other games, they've not gone for ultra realistic on the character models, and I'm okay with that. Like what I saw was really, really impressive. I'm looking forward to it now. The only thing that kind of, if I've got any reservations, it's the puzzles. Because I don't necessarily like the puzzle games, and the way that they were talking about it, they said, well, everybody knows that Indiana Jones is really smart, so we've got to put puzzles in there. And I'm just sitting there going, but I'm not really smart. The player's got to solve these puzzles. Come on, we're not Indiana Jones.
You gotta live the experience, Ainsley. You gotta live the experience. No, I wasn't.
I'm gonna die if I have to do the puzzles.
Hopefully, it's like God the One. You have like that Chinese kid video and say,
hopefully
hey,
not.
look over there. There's a wheel over there. Turn that around.
She's gonna do it. She'd be like, "Hey, maybe if you turn that thing over there." She's gonna do it. That is an important part. Like when we think of machine games, like machine games, we know them from Wolfenstein. We're just shooting them Nazis and stuff, and this is a very different game from that. We're definitely fighting Nazis, that's for sure.
Yeah, Fonz was saying this is Wolfenstein with Indiana Jones.
3 point or 2.5 or whatever. Yeah. But the puzzles is a big part of making Indiana Jones game.
They're
optional. They were extra puzzles. They're not optional. There's puzzles in the mainline story.
Puzzles, but there's puzzles as well. Yeah, there's main puzzles and there's extra.
It's not shit.
But that's a key part of an Indiana Jones game. If you're gonna make an indie game, unfortunately, you're gonna have to make some puzzles. Because that man solves stuff. Yeah.
No,
so we'll see.
I think this game's going to do really well. I think the thing is, I have PTSD from last year. Because the games, like, you had Redfall and the Direct didn't hit as hard as it was a failure. Then you had Forza didn't hit as hard as I wanted to. Starfield was a great game, but didn't hit as hard for me as I wanted to. So there's a lingering thing there. So I feel like almost fearful of actually going out on a limb for Microsoft here. Plus, not just Microsoft, just generally, because any, fair, like done deals like this, these are certain wins across the board with Cyberpunk and all of these games. I'm just a bit wary now, maybe just getting jaded as I'm older. But the optimist in me looks into this to the Dev Direct, and it's like, if Microsoft does deliver, Xbox does deliver what these games look like in terms of their potential. I know it's subjective, and other people have their own views on things, but I think generally us four. And the way we've spoken about these games, all of us, and chat, apart from the ponies just taking the piss, Xbox has a very, very potent, very impressive lineup of first-party games. Ara, I know it's not first-party, but like that. For the year. What did you say? What did you say?
I was like, for the back half of the year.
For the back half of the year, yeah. Well, Hellblade is still first half.
It is, though. It's a fantastic lineup for the back half of the year.
And Hellblade is first half of the year, not Q1.
The very tail end, yes.
Tail end of the first half. But, I'm. This is where I look at this. And we haven't even seen ABK and what they're up to and all of that shit, yeah.
Towerborn, Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Yeah.
Loads of stuff, expansion for Starfield and all of that.
Yeah.
This is where the frustration comes in. Again, I'm not going to... The rumors still rumors. I just this is it. when the masses are talking about Indiana Jones, or Blade.
That's
or
a bit
things
for
like that.
that's a bit. Indiana Jones is a bit different though. Because
Indiana
it's Harrison
Jones.
Ford.
Yeah, the thing is, it goes
I'm
to
sure
show
everybody
that
will talk about that because it's Harrison Ford playing Indiana Jones, and that's the first time in a long time you've seen a character come to the games. When was the last time? Like the
That's a good question.
Xbox 360, maybe Wolverine games or something. Maybe the likeness.
Yeah.
Like the actual character. I'm not sure when's the last time we had one of them games.
Uh,
That makes a difference, you know. Unless it's amazing
was the last
Spider-Man games,
time?
but I'm not sure if Andrew Garfield they got the likeness for that.
Well, chat. Do you know the last game where their Hollywood counterparts were featuring in a video game? That wasn't shit. Do you?
See, when you guys say
I'm talking about-
featuring, I'm very confused when you say that because Harrison Ford's
I say
not voicing the character. They didn't
no,
scan
no,
his
no.
face for
I
the
said-
character. So,
But I said, like strongly resembling them, their character, like
there
the
you
Hollywood,
go. Resembling, yeah.
like very strongly, like it's almost him. kind
There
of.
was
like,
an Iron Man game. I thought the VR one. I thought they were trying to base it off of RDJ pretty hard, but I don't know. I don't think that's as
The Hollywood
much, though.
counterpart in the movies. I'm talking about a movie IP or
A
something.
movie
not
IP.
Cyberpunk.
That's what. Not like games. We're talking about movie IPs. And
Oh,
I feel
movie.
like, That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
RoboCop was the most recent one.
Yeah, RoboCop is a
Yeah.
good shout, actually.
Yeah,
RoboCop.
that's the most
that's
recent
like
one, and that
quarter
fit,
of
that
the
makes
game.
sense.
Avatar.
It works though.
Avatar. Avatar.
I don't know.
Do you fly as Jake Sully?
Sully.
Oh, well, the specific, like,
Ryan
yeah, the actor.
Lully.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. No, I don't know.
No, but look, ultimately, it looks really positive. So it's going to be good to see Xbox get in there. Riddick, Chronicles of Riddick, which is made by Machine Games.
That's right.
Fucking brilliant game. Yeah, so look.
But guys, sorry, like to interrupt now. Like you just were talking about the games lineup. Every game is different.
Yeah,
Hellblade,
So
from
different.
your cinematic
That's
game,
what I love. It's so good.
from
so different.
Indiana Jones, action adventure, puzzle solving type of game. Then you got your RPG game with Obsidian. South of Midnight's coming. Then you got your Fable. Then you got your racing games. Then you got your don't forget Call of Duty's first party.
yeah.
That's part of the lineup now as well. Flight Simulator, like the games you're getting right now from Microsoft is insane because
So different.
every studio is making something different. They don't need to play it safe.
Yeah.
So
Like on
good.
Sony, they gotta play a bit safe. Let's make a sequel, a remaster, director's cut because it will sell because of the IP, the name of the IP. But when it comes to the Xbox Game Studios, every studio can make a brand new IP, totally different, and score for it. And that's what I love.
You hear that, Nick Marseille? I know you're watching. You know it's true. You know it's true.
They know that. Listen, they know that. Man. Come on, they know.
It is.
They know what's
they
up.
do.
They know
We'll
what's
see.
up.
We'll see how these games hit. I'm generally very positive, despite being apprehensive generally of being positive. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good year. And let's see, Microsoft finally hitting its rhythm this year, potentially, with the first party, with diversities there. And there's a lot more to come. So,
And people keep preaching like this is Xbox's year, and I would agree. As much as you might think I'm saying negative, I'm telling you, man, this is Xbox's year because we have no idea. There's a couple PlayStation things, Nintendo, they're keeping shit secret for probably obvious reasons, but we know what Xbox is doing this year, and so far it's a lineup of like 6 or 7 first-party titles. That's a lot. That's a lot. Even if I keep bringing that back half comment back, regardless, that's a lot of first party titles in 1 year, man.
Yeah, it's
And we
good.
might get some more surprises along the way. Who knows?
Yeah,
And they're super varied, like Sean's saying. They're all super varied, and yeah, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see.
I really hope Xbox does smash out the park this year. It'll put a lot of confidence boost into the vision of Microsoft and what they're doing with their internal studios and the autonomy they give them. Before we sign out, though, let's read these super chats. Nerds and other legends with a $2 super chat. Indie looks like a game being made by true fans. I think that's abundantly clear because you couldn't.
No denying that. No
Yeah.
denying that.
Yeah, you can underline that as well. Like underline that shit. There's no denying the fact that, like at this stage, even based on what we saw at the developer
That's what
direct.
you want, though. When a studio like the Blade, I know, like Blade, Leon, Arkin, Leon, you can tell they're pumped for making that game. They gotta,
yeah.
like, they want to make it in Paris. You know, and obviously that's like third person, but they know, like, you can tell, like, dude's excited, like, we got a plan, this is our game, this is what we're making. That's what you want to see from a developer instead of like, well, you got to make this game because we're not making no money. Yo, make us a multiplayer game. Like, Redfall is one of them examples.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bethesda game they make great games, but they weren't selling. So do you know what to do? Make a live service game. Obviously, they cut that out when Microsoft acquired them, but that's what happens. You fall, like Fallout 76, you fall into that because your games are not making... Regardless if your game hits a 95, if it's not making money, it's a problem. Money talks.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. So I just can't wait to see some of the studios do what they want to do. And
I can't wait to see
you've seen it this year. You've seen it this year, man.
This is an important year as well. Just like last year was for Xbox, but this one looks like positive in many ways, and it's not weighted on one game doing really well. You've got great games and diverse games. Hellblade's got a lot riding on it. So Avowed can find its audience. So can freaking Indiana Jones. Like this, it's not heavily weighted towards like Starfield. That's not the thing right now, and that's really good to see.
I have a for fun question because I do see the chat bringing this up throughout almost this entire stream of all the games of that developer direct. Because all of them are technically in the back half, other than Hellblade. Which do you think would have the biggest chance of getting pushed into 2025? I asked the chat that too, because I've seen you guys bring it up a few times in the chat.
Avowed, I think so. I think that'll be the one because they did say fall. So if you can push that back. Yeah, if you can push that back early 2024, make that the first quarter, and make Indiana Jones, you kind of like your September, October type of game. Place it there. Maybe that makes more sense.
I'm just guessing at this point.
I hope they can make it. I hope every game makes it, but you got to remember Call of Duty's there as well, and you don't want to be clashing with your first party IP. So I'm not sure what's going to happen.
I think I think between Avowed or Indie. I'm not saying. I'm again. This is just all totally hypothetical, but I think Avowed or Indie. I think there are some of the animations in Avowed that I'm like, maybe they just want a bit more time to kind of finish things up. And then Indie, it's like, well, they did just reveal it. Maybe, I don't know. And some of the animations in that I thought looked like maybe they could use a smidge more time too. I'm not saying any of these are getting delayed. I just saw the chat bring it up a few times, so I thought we'd speculate on that.
I have a feeling I think we've gone past, or again, I don't know, but I feel like we've gone past that COVID kind of problem time where now developers are now
these games have already been delayed
in.
a chunk. Like all four of those games
were,
as far as we know, meant to release
at least last year or the year before.
So hopefully we don't get any delays.
Yeah. If they all fall on schedule, man.
That's crazy. Whoa. That's a crazy apple.
Whoa.
Yeah. I think that'll be a sign of like a signal that the industry is finally moving on from the uncertainty that plagued it. Silent Cypher with a $2 super chat. Never heard of Pony's tantrum over COD being FPSs. Yeah, but maybe they'll commit to it now that they've committed to this stupid narrative, or they'll probably bury them instead.
This Call of Duty is going to hit different because this game is 4 years? When it comes to this game, it's been 4 years. This Call of Duty. Developing has been 4 years. This one. This is 4 years from
which one?
I forgot. The chat will know.
I think Sledgehammer, but
4 years. This one is
Sledgehammer. But Infinity Ward are the only ones I really take seriously. That's the thing.
But this is the only one that's got the most time.
Is it? Well, let's see. The last one they just spunked that out.
Champagne made a lot of money.
They always do. Champagne Supernova with a $2 Australian. Any game that gets Acer bearing up gets me pumped. That's true. Well, that's not true at all, actually. It's all VR shit. Dan Nazaro.
Is it Concord?
Concord. Hey, man, I'm looking forward to Concord. And,
motion sickness, guys.
Yeah. Well, we don't get it, so we could probably stand a better chance than PlayStation guys. I'm looking forward to Marathon and Concord. I want to see what PlayStation does with multiplayer. I'll play on PC. Dan Nazaro with a $2 super chat. KBG's the mustard hard dude King speaks of. People take that shit literally. And Dan Nazaro, I am not surprised you're one of them. Nerds, and other legends with a $5 super chat. We've been drowning in a sea of sameness and remasters. Xbox is really addressing that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. And I think, like,
the thing is, they already hit remastered in a way great last year. They just released like a Quake 2 thing and I think Age of Empires 2. Those are both two like remaster things they did. And they just kind of put them out. People want it. Game Pass, have fun with it. If you don't want it, whatever.
Absolutely. I know the Game Pass.
And apparently they were great. They were great remasters from what I hear. But
we saw some like Matt Piscatella was talking about. I think he's blocked me. I think a lot of people on Twitter.
As he should.
Yeah, because I'm a piece of shit. But loads of people blocked me. It's crazy, and I love it. But he was talking about how Game Pass number had stalled, and there was a lot of concern about Game Pass and where it stands, and whether sub services have stalled or what's going to happen.
Well,
I think
the way he's saying is the way the growth is like it's not moving the way it is. It's still growing, but it's not like doing the 20% a year, 15% a year. It's like it's slowly going up where like Sorting they had that bonus check to it, like it's gonna hit 10% this year, and it's growing, but it's not growing the way they want it to grow. But let's see when the ABK deal games come in. That could be our first quarter. Put all of them games in there. So,
I mean, I think I think if Xbox keeps doing this, does the Japan front, does games like this, gets these big popular IPs that even got the masses talking like Indiana Jones and Blade and stuff, I don't think you hit that limit at all. I disagree completely, vehemently. You haven't even tapped into the. So Microsoft's not doing anything in Saudi, in Arab countries, or really making a dent in Japan yet. Like if they take that really seriously, I think this kind of service is the value is crazy. Like we're back to talking about how crazy the value is of Game Pass, and this year we're going to get all sorts. If we get that Square Enix game, we get Visions of Mana in Game Pass, stuff like that. I think it'll be it's not the end of it. Well, I may be wrong, but I just don't think so. I think there's a lot of potential with Game Pass to go upwards. I wouldn't write it off yet, but they're in it for the long haul. No matter what you say.
I love what Game Shark is saying. He says Xbox is a slow-moving glacier that can't be stopped.
That sums up really
spot
well.
on. That's spot on.
Yeah, absolutely, it is a slow-moving
huge
glacier.
landmass that they've made, and it's just moving, and you can't stop it. That's
a great way of putting it as well. Like, and it is Microsoft are now fully committed to gaming, no matter what the third party, first party, all that bullshit of 2027 and whatnot. They are fully committed. They're in it.
Well, you got dudes backtracking on that. They were saying, 2027, Xbox is leaving the console space. But now, P-Rock is saying, I'm not saying, you piece of shit, saying that 2027, they're not going to leave the console space. That's what he starts saying. I'm like, come on, man.
Oh, shit. P-Rock, don't tell me you've been saying that. I got some, like, freaking receipts from you on 2027. Oh, shit. What happened? What happened, bro? 2027, what's happening? They're still releasing consoles, blood. Shut the fuck up, Palworld. But yeah, shout out to Palworld. Shout out to everyone in the chat. And everyone, thank you so much for tuning in live. And absolutely, thank you to our guests who brought the masala and the sauce as always. It's been
I'll dial it down for this is your business channel, so I'll dial it down.
when we do it on my personal channel, we can fucking
then it's different. On my channel, then it's different.
And your channel, just go raw. We will be disgusting on that channel. But thank you so much for maintaining decorum here and for bringing the sauce. Absolutely, it was such a good chat. This is it, Developer Direct. What's going to happen next? The ball is in your court, Sony. Because PlayStation, you need to deliver. And next week, we might have some guests who may be very controversial in the chat. Who you guys are going to be like calling me a pony bot again. I guarantee it. But before we sign out, in no particular order, just Kibaji, because it's always you with your expressive face just bouncing on it. Kibaji, thank you so much for joining us, man. Tell the peoples what's in store for the Kibaji fans this year, 2024. What's going on?
Well, hello, everybody. This is a channel meant to be a pony bot of all epic proportions. If you want a lot of pony... I'm just kidding. No. Somebody wanted to hear me earlier say, piece of shit. There you go. You piece of shit. No, I am somebody like, look, man, I love speculation. That is my thing. And I think the power of speculation in a rational, hopeful, and respectful way Gaz might think like, shut up with your kumbaya stuff. No, for real. I love when people welcome each other's opinions and we all embrace that our opinions are opinions. And I think it's great to dive into your passions in gaming speculation, because that's what I'm passionate about. So if you want more of that, head over to the channel. I'm going to try to make an Xbox timeline video. I wanted to wait until the direct was over, so I'm going to work on that. I want to explain the math of Game Pass and how Game Pass basically funds all their first-party studios. Again, I did that once before. I'm going to do it again after the APK thing. And we need to talk about the future of Halo. So I'm definitely an Xbox guy, as much as you want to think that I'm not. So stay tuned for that content, but I'm also looking forward to what Nintendo's doing soon. So if you want some of that, head over to the channel, have some fun. And I'm going to check out the Cult of the Lamb update tomorrow, where we get to have nudism, sex, and babies.
Oh shit!
Definitely check that out. Oh, his channel out, not that latter stuff. But yeah,
somebody called me out on that. They're like, "You need to make sure you say that in the right order."
yeah, you did. I think you did it in the right order.
And everybody, make sure you clip that slavery thing. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna get cancelled before you know it for that comment.
Oh,
but
boy.
we know you. That's the perils of being on the internet. Last but certainly not least, it is Sean, you piece of shit. How you doing?
Nah, a lot of fun, man. Look, shout out to the homies, you guys on the panel, the homies in the chat, always supporting. There's so many podcasters out there, and it's awesome to see like the homies come over, showing support on multiple podcasts, and it was a great show. I know you were a bit concerned, like, is Sean gonna go too hardcore or something? Like,
I never have that concern, bro. I'm not even.
you didn't have that concern. You were like, You're Sean, when septic sauce is ready, then you can let loose. But Acer's out here, you gotta be careful.
Nah. I was saying, you gotta be fat. Look, when me and you are together, it's full on pony shit diarrhea fest. And we love doing that. But over here, it's gotta be a little bit of
No, I understand. Look, it's funny because people actually believe like, oh, this guy does this guy does that. For my channel, that's my content. That's the way I do it. But I'm gonna have respect for your lost channel. No matter what. I'll do it here, bits and bats here. But the respect's gonna be there because this is your channel. A lot of people do get a bit scared, like, nah, don't invite him because he does the console war shit. He talks that shit. He swears a lot. You know,
who are you talking to? This is
no, but you got your soundboard and you kind of cut it off and that.
Oh no, you can swear. I just do it for like dramatic effect.
No, just in general. A lot of people say they do this, they do that, but we can have a conversation. We can have a lot of fun. And shout out to the people. But I'll do a show on Fridays. It's called TTS Xbox Podcast. And you know, guys, what does TTS stand for?
Talk that shit.
That's right. Talk that shit on Fridays, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK time. And I do a show with the homie Griggity, WBG on Mondays, 6 p.m. Eastern time. And that's a lot of fun. So I'll drop the link in the chat. And oh, yeah, he's dropped it there. Shout out to you, player. Do you know what? I loved it. A lot of fun, man.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad that's the main thing. You enjoyed yourself. That's the main thing I asked. Conscious of, and we had a fucking great show, man. It was so good, man. As always, man.
Great show.
Both you gents. Thank you so much. Asa, tell the peoples you're working on some. Probably too early to announce, but you're working on some cool, ambitious stuff.
Loads of stuff going on. Too early to announce most of it, but yeah, I'm doing like a massive load of podcasts. I'll be around most days. I've got an Xbox podcast very nearly ready to go with Deadly Headley and Gamsley, which is I'm really looking forward to that.
Let's go, Issa. That's the shit I want to hear from you, man. An Xbox podcast. I don't give a shit what people say in the chat. Oh, the chat's full of Xbox like fans. It's full of Xbox because we are Xbox fans. It is what it is. Don't worry about it.
I don't want to like
they got us.
piss on your parade, but I'm looking to set up a PlayStation and a Nintendo one as well when they get the right people. So, you know, it's an Xbox One because there's people that want it filtered. They don't want to hear me talking about VR and stuff like that. So I'm doing multiple loads of things. I'll be there all the time. So please do keep an eye on the channel. And there's another one that's already booked in. I'm not quite ready to announce. And like I say, I'm looking for more. So yeah, loads going on this year.
Yeah, and absolutely. Looking forward to it. I'm not even going to talk about my channel. It's coming. Just whatever it is, you'll know about it. Thank you to everyone in chat.
Oh, no. Fans, nobody said Xbox is perfect. You can hear me multiple times that say Xbox isn't perfect. They deserve criticism. I don't like that bullshit. I'll call him out on this because he always thinks he's right. Nobody, listen, the difference is Xbox deserves criticism. But when you start doing that pony bot shit or pony stuff where they do regardless of that dog shit talking for no reason, like we seen on the internet, that's the difference, bro. But that's the difference, bro. But respect to Fonz on that. I got respect for that dude. I got respect for him. He's an older guy, like he's older than me. Respect for him and that. But Xbox deserves criticism. But that's my kind of show. I want to have fun, talk shit, because when they talk shit, I'm here to talk that shit back.
I completely understand. By the way, I've always said it. Yeah, okay, it's an echo chamber because you completely block ponies. But I often question, like on my own personal channel, like, do I want these? Because they're not elevating the conversation themselves. They're just being dicks in the chat. So I'm an Xbox fan. I've got a lot of Xbox people follow me in the chat. And I'm in two minds right now. I'm like, do I let these like ponies just talk shit? Like they're not adding to the conversation. So I understand the value in having that echo chamber.
Like guys, I've been there. I've been on podcasts in 2018, 2019, 2020 with P-Rock, J-Dub, all the players. I've been there. I've done the battles. Fonz were there here, bits and bats as well.
Yeah.
I've done it. I can't be asked for that bullshit anymore.
Yeah.
Because regardless,
I completely understand
that's
it.
it.
Like
I've been there, done that.
I'm not. I like to have a conversation with both sides. When you see my guest next week, you will understand. And I've always had ponies on here as well. Like
I see Boba Fett saying 100. They don't have a discussion. Yeah.
and a lot of the ponies will like literally. I get a lot of haters from Twitter because I shit on ponies 24/7 on Twitter.
I'll say this, like Samurai. What I'm trying to get, I know you want to close it out. It's like, for example, prime example. Someone will come in the chat. Xbox is dog shit. Xbox has got no games.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here. Boom. Them are the type of ponies we sniped. But if you come in and say, I prefer this, prefer that, like, we okay then. But when you come in and say that, I don't go to a PlayStation podcast.
Hold on. Don't talk that shit. Hold on. What about me here? You guys had, who the fuck do you mean? Who? You guys had like an hour now. Who? It's me. I meant to fuck up after you guys. I made a whole source video where you had Ray and all these people talking shit. Gaz made this. Gaz going fucking PlayStation and turning into crap gamer because I was critiquing the shittest 2022 that Phil Spencer came in, did the apology note, kind of funny, saying the exact same thing I did. I had to release a source video on your cruise, and don't give me that shit. That's
the chat coming after you, and you know, well deserved, because you were doing some pony boss shit. You were doing the same shit what the PlayStation guys were doing, coming into the chat and saying Xbox is dog shit.
I did.
If you want to have a conversation, let's have a conversation. I made you a mod on my channel. What more do you want, guys? What more do you want? But all jokes aside, man, listen, I love having a lot of fun and banter, and everybody does their channel different. Not everybody can be the same. That's the way I put it.
I love it.
You got like Samurai doing this shit. You got GameOnDaily's doing this shit. Iron Lords is doing this shit. Fonz is doing this stuff. Everybody does their content different. If everybody did the same content, it'll be complete dog shit on YouTube.
Yeah, it's true. And it's the Xbox guys definitely do better content, in my opinion.
Nobody watch PlayStation. Let's not even go there. The PlayStation guys go to the Xbox podcasters.
I will say there's a segment of Xbox guys who mostly keep screaming the pony bot thing unironically. They've become like the ponies, just so ironic. The bots are mimicking the ponies in their absolute just intolerance of criticism. It's just funny to see. But shit, gives me more content. Call me pony bot. I will shit on you too, bro. I'm grateful. I get 2 sets of content. I ain't no mustard heart. I'm the one that you need. You need me to say the shit you're too scared to say. So I can say it. I don't give a fuck about you guys say. I will tell Phil.
The difference is, guys, you got a bigger platform. You got a bigger platform. I haven't got 15K. I haven't got a big following. Everybody's on a different level. Look at this. This guy's a console warrior. What the fuck does he know? Get him out of here.
They say the same thing about me, bro. If you go back to it,
you got a bigger platform. You got a bigger platform, though.
Nah, bro, you'll be there soon. Trust me, inshallah, you'll be there very soon.
When my restriction comes off, yeah.
Yeah, inshallah, it will. Shout out to everyone in chat. We're going to sign off. Exciting things coming for Xbox, maybe for PlayStation. If you like third parties, you'll be in good company. Please hit the like button. We're going to go and say next week. Peace. Take care.
Farewell. Bye.